Hey, good afternoon, and welcome here to Alumni Coliseum and Bob Green Field as we get ready to roll here on a Saturday afternoon. Ordigger football as the Ordiggers taking on the Red Hawks out of Simpson University. Paul Panisco, Ron Haskett here on a Saturday afternoon. Haskett, how you doing?
Oh, it couldn't be better. That Hall of Fame event last night, the induction ceremony leading into this game was fantastic. You guys did a great job. You and Stepp and the crew. We just had a great time, but you only failed in one manner. I don't think you mentioned Sean Ryan enough.
I do. Ladies and gentlemen, golf coach Sean Ryan.
That was the standing joke of the night. Good stuff. You know me. I like to beat a joke
yeah, we're
to
awful.
Death.
Yeah, if you're new to us, trust me, we'll find something and beat it to death here through the broadcast. But let's get ready for this one. Montana Tech, for lack of a better term, has run the gauntlet, and they have come out of the gauntlet in pretty good shape. They're 4-2 overall. They're number 15 in the country. Now moving forward, like I say, I don't know any other way to put it. They're going to be able to play a little bit better here, and Simpson University is the first opponent. Now, Simpson is a first-year program. They just started football this year. They're a private evangelical Christian liberal arts school in Redding, California. They compete in 20 intercollegiate varsity sports, and again, it is their first year of football. They will be a Frontier Conference member, full-time Frontier Conference member next year, and this year they have 10 games on the schedule. 6 of those are against the Frontier Conference. They play, obviously, us, Carroll College, Eastern, Arizona Christian, Southern, and the College of Idaho. So the Red Hawks, jumping in the deep end when it boils right down to it.
Absolutely, and we're excited to see them come in, right?
Yep.
They're going to take their lumps, sure, and today could be a tough task for them, but it's going to be a test for them to come in and see where we're at and what we got to get to. Right, and they'll see that, throughout this season and continue to improve. I always harken back to Dickinson State, who's a storied program, but they did something similar. They jump in the Frontier and they lost a lot of football games, and eventually they, just kind of clicked that we got to get better, right? And they have.
Look at this. As we take a look at the numbers here, Montana Tech and Simpson have run the exact same number of plays, 391 plays. Montana Tech with 204 points, and the Red Hawks with 39 points off of those 391 snaps. And as you take a look here, the loss in rushing yards, Simpson, their quarterback, is their leading rusher. We're going to talk about him a lot. Their tailback is their leading receiver. So it certainly kind of tells you a little bit about what we're going to see offensively today. But, they certainly have kind of the brass ring, if you will, to look up to. College of Idaho started fresh just a handful of years ago. And College of Idaho is a national power, period. I mean, that's all there is to it. And if you're going to be able to survive in the Frontier Conference, you're going to be able to play at any level. So, like I say, Simpson getting started this year, they're certainly in a great recruiting area. I mean, that's the beauty of that. As you get down to California where, the Montana schools at least don't have very good tendrils down there. They could be a very big part of this conference very quickly.
Absolutely. And you talked about Montana Tech running the gauntlet of this conference. And now coming out, getting to, maybe lighten your load a little bit, play Simpson. Montana Tech could very well be undefeated right now. They've got a loss down at the College of Idaho that essentially was a blocked PAT to win that football game. And then if you go back to last weekend down in Dillon against UM Western, Montana Tech had every opportunity to win that game. And you got to credit Western, right? Mm-hmm. They thwarted a couple turnovers early. Some field position battles and all that stuff where Montana Tech didn't really take advantage of an advantage that they got early in that game. And if there was a weekend that UM Western was beatable, it was last weekend. And Montana Tech's, they're going to be coming off that. I'd be interested to see how their week of practice went because they had every opportunity to win that game last weekend.
And it's interesting to me. You look at that game. And going into it, I don't think anyone would have been surprised if we'd had a 63-59 ball game at all. Right. And we came out talking about how good both defenses played. Montana Tech hadn't given up hardly any sacks, only 3 up until last week. Western was able to get good pressure. Montana Tech's secondary, I thought, played really well. Norris is just an animal at Western. He does such a good job. He got his yards, but they were kind of quiet yards. I don't know if that makes sense, but it was. I thought both defenses played awfully well, and I know Tech would obviously love to have that one back.
I think Montana Tech made them work really hard for every yard they grabbed.
Agreed.
Going into this game, Peyton Gonzer got a little banged up last weekend, but he had a fantastic day last weekend in that secondary of safety. And, I was down there, I watched it, and, boy, the opportunity was there to get out with a win, but they didn't, right?
Yep.
So they've got to kind of reset here and get some stuff straightened out, and it's a good opportunity to get some stuff flowing and some momentum and stuff like that against visiting Simpson.
Well, and the other thing we have to bring up before we move on, we're obviously going to talk about Hall of Fame coming up at the half, as we had our Hall of Fame induction ceremony last night. Those people that are joining us today will be out on the field. I would assume there's going to be some sore heads on some of them.
Me.
We'll talk about them coming up at the half. It really was a great night and just an incredible class going into the Montana Tech Hall of Fame. The other one I have to bring up is on Monday morning at 6 a.m., Coach Kyle Sampson and Brooke had another baby boy. So Brooke gave birth to KJ, the new addition to the Simpson family. Brooke and KJ both extremely healthy, doing great. And it was a scheduled Monday morning, and they made it through the weekend.
They're right across the street from me now. I see it. You wouldn't know Brooke had any hiccup in her schedule. No. She looks fantastic, and everybody came out of there happy and healthy, and a great family to have in the neighborhood. But congratulations again to the Sampsons and Brooke, and it's nice to have them all around, and their kids, let's just say they are active.
That they are. We are getting ready for this one. Montana Tech taking on Simpson University right here on Digger Vision. Paul Panisco, Ron Haskett. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk about both teams, look at starters, and a whole lot more right after this.
Dude, Hudson, your new man cave is sweet.
Come watch the game.
Dude, they're gonna score.
Man cave, lady lounges, whatever you call them, Steele's Furniture has exactly what you need to make your room come to life. Shop our Man Cave showroom today for ideas to upgrade your bar set, fireplace, TV, recliner, furniture set, and refrigerator. Steele's Furniture, making man caves happen for 87 years.
Nucor is a great company. They care about their people. They care about the environment.
I've never been restricted to fall in a box. I've never been told that I can't do something.
I saw it as a great opportunity to develop a career.
You create your own destiny at Nucor.
We're building something bigger out here at Nucor. Come join us.
Hey, we're back here once again to Alumni Coliseum at Bob Green Field. It has shaped up to be a beautiful day here in the mining city. The tailgate is absolutely slammed over there as we eyeball it here from our perch. And as always, thanks for joining us here, Digger Football. Currently number 15 in the nation, and it truly in a really good spot moving towards the end of the year. You take care of business. 4 of your 5 games left on the year are on this field. The only time they're on the road again is when we go to Arizona Christian. Otherwise, every game is here in Butte, Montana. And certainly things are looking good for Montana Tech when you start to look at the playoff picture and beyond that final regular season game against the Saints Carroll College.
Yeah, we were discussing some potential scenarios, after last weekend, just to see how everything plays out. But I think Montana Tech has essentially all of their goals in front of them still.
Yep.
It's tough. It's tough to get through this conference undefeated if that is one of your goals. But everything else, is there. Do they need some stuff to maybe work out for them? Sure. But a lot of those upper tier teams still have to play each other. You know, Carroll's got one loss, but they've got a tough back half of the schedule, similar to what Montana Tech just went through.
We talked about Tech getting out of the gauntlet. Carroll is just about ready to go into said gauntlet.
Yeah, they got Eastern Oregon at home today, and then they've got
they're at
four
Western.
of their last 5.
Yep, they're
on the
at
road.
Western. They're here. The only home game they have left after today is Southern Oregon.
Right. And otherwise, that'll be a tough task.
Yeah. Otherwise, they're at the College of Idaho. They're in Dillon, and they're here in the mining city. So that's not an easy run for the Saints. So let's talk Frontier Conference here real quickly. The Saints are on top of the Frontier Conference right now. They're 3-0 in conference play. They're 4-1 overall. Again, remember Montana Tech and Carroll played earlier this year. That was a non-conference game. The conference game will be the final game of the year. College of Idaho is second at 3-1 in conference, 5-2 overall. Southern Oregon, we have a big old logjam at 2-1. Southern Oregon, Western, and Eastern Oregon are all 2-1. Southern's 5-1 overall, Western's 4-1 overall, and Eastern is 2-3 overall. Montana Tech is 2-2, 4-2 overall. Arizona Christian 1-3 and 1-4 overall. Rocky Mountain College is 0-4 and 1-5, and Northern is 0-2 and 0-4 to this point in the season.
And the big surprise there to me is Rocky.
Agreed.
You know, they I think this conference maybe expected a little more out of Rocky through the first half of the season, but yeah, that's what I mean. There's a lot of good teams that are playing really good football, and one of them is here today. I mean, Montana Tech, they're playing good football. You know, you can kind of come off as maybe a little bit of a negative Nancy, but this is a team that could very well be undefeated. They've got a couple losses, but they just got to go out and sharpen up today, right? You know, you go out, you should win this football game. I'm not afraid to say it. And if I was on that staff, I wouldn't be afraid to say it.
Yep.
You know, you play them one game at a time and all that stuff. But this is a good chance to do a couple things. Sharpen up offensively, sharpen up defensively, and hopefully get yourself in a situation to look at a few of your 2s and 3s, some of your other bodies. You don't like to say that out loud, but I'm not afraid to say it out loud.
Well, and that's the truth here. So let's talk about the Simpson side of the football. We talked about the institution as a whole. Let's talk about some personnel. Red Hawk quarterback Caleb Anderson has thrown for 660-plus yards on the year. He's completed 47% of his passes as of right now for a pair of touchdowns. He has thrown 9 interceptions thus far. Anderson is their leading rusher as well with 241 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns on 66 carries this year. Running back Ezekiel Anderson has rushed for 227 on 63 carries. He rushed for 95 yards on 20 carries 3 weeks ago against Willamette University. We could see 3 other backs possibly. Donovan Castillo, Luke Miller, and Micah Kindle each have kind of 10-plus carries on the season, kind of that low teen number for each of those. Their leading receiver is their running back in Ezekiel Anderson, 16 catches. The receiver Talon Ramirez and Nathan Monticelli have 129 and 83 yards receiving, respectively. Tight end Trevor Thomas has 11 catches for 70 yards, and that feels like one of the places they look at a lot. Our conference feels pretty tight end heavy right now, but yeah, it feels like the Red Hawks going to look an awful lot at that tight end here as we go today.
Yeah, indeed. If you're not struggling, but if you're struggling to throw the ball, right, a lot of times the best option for a quarterback, a guy that's generally easy to find, is your tight end, and of course checking down to a back out of the backfield. And Simpson, you know, that'll tell me a couple things, but mainly it'll tell me, you know, the potential there for a well-versed offense is there because they're doing things smartly, right? Maybe they're having trouble protecting, but they know to get the ball to the tight end. They know to get the ball to the ball or the back out of the backfield. So that's good coaching, smart coaching. And you've heard me say it 100 times. If I could go coach again, that's one direction I would go, is the back out of the backfield more often.
Doesn't it feel like we've seen it a little bit more this year than we have in the past?
Well, yeah, and it's we've seen Blake Thielen, when he's comfortable, if he doesn't like what he sees downfield, he will check it to the back out of the backfield. But, yeah, I think it's something that's not done enough. And I do watch a lot of football on the weekends, right? Major college football and NFL football. You watch those guys. I mean, if they start to struggle, they need confidence. They need to move the ball. They'll get back, set, look downfield. But if they're not comfortable, they're smart enough to hit a little back angle, back swing, back flat, that kind of stuff.
Well, let's talk about the other side of the ball. Of course, the Yordigers led by quarterback Blake Thielen, a fifth-year senior. He has hit 55% of his passes, 1,288 yards, averaging about 215 yards a game through the air. He has thrown 14 touchdowns, 7 interceptions thus far. Cade Wyant is a guy that we've seen quite a bit this year, and rightly so. A talented guy. You see him in the Wildcat look quite a bit. Cade Wyant is one of 2 that he has thrown the ball thus far, and I expect to see Cade quite a bit here today as this one goes. Now,
he's a tough guy, right?
Yes,
You'd almost think if he had a twin brother, he'd be a middle linebacker. That's how tough he is.
That's
right?
kind of that. Isn't that amazing how that works? When you go to the other side, let's talk about running back. And, of course, there you have to start with Durs as Lander Smith, as the Yordigers have 207 rushing attempts so far this season. Senior running back Lander Smith has accounted for 146 of those. His 749 rushing yards, a second in the frontier. It is third in the nation. His 124 points. Get him, brother. His 124 yards per game average, a second in conference, as well as second in the nation, as the Frontier Conference has the 2 best backs in the nation. Period.
That was, that was one of the biggest shockers of the whole week, or maybe of the season, is Lander Smith's success running the football against Western.
Yeah.
Because that, and I'll tell anybody again who will listen. Ryan Norris knows his stuff. He knows his football, and that's always a well-coached team. And I'm not going to compare him to Bill Belichick, but he's just one of those guys. He'll take away your number 1 threat, just by direction. And Montana Tech, going back to last weekend, as tough as that loss was, they ran the football really well.
Well, we're getting ready for the start of this one. We're going to get our national anthem, I do believe, as well. Thanks for joining us here on Digger Vision. Paul Panisco, Ron Haskett, as we are going to get our national anthem. And I do believe we're going to have it sung out on the field here. Here we go. Our national anthem, ladies and gentlemen.
Andy Larson.
Andy Larson.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Andy Larson, ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. If you're betting on the length of the national anthem with Andy Larson, always go under. Always the under with Andy Larson.
It is the under. I was taking the over.
Yeah, see, that's where you went wrong.
Another bet lost.
Yep, there you go. Montana Tech taking on the Red Hawks of Simpson University. Again, this is the first meeting ever between these two programs. Montana Tech, the last 2 years, have played 2 new programs each of the last 2 years. And it had been a while before that since we had seen 2 new teams in here. So Simpson and Georgetown were our 2 new ones so far this year. And that number could go up as this season goes on.
Yeah, you go back to probably, College, Idaho?
Yeah.
Coming back, and then before that, Northern, probably, eh?
Truly. So we'll get our coin toss. And our captains are getting ready to join us on the field as well. Again, thanks for joining us here on a Saturday afternoon as the governor is joining us.
A couple guys after last weekend that I'm curious to see their availability today. I know Peyton Gonzer got a little banged up in that game. He played so good.
And I felt
down there at Western.
Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. The other one that I'm really interested to see, Durs ran for 160, Lander Smith, but it felt like he got beat up.
Yeah.
Like he obviously, and it wasn't a game where he had 45 carries. He had 25 carries in that ball game. Ran the ball exceptionally well, but boy, it felt like Western really got shoulder pads into his legs. In my opinion, it felt like he got beat up.
And they always do. You know, the Ryan Norse-led team is going to get a lot of bodies to the football, and they're going to hit you. But the other one that the last couple games, dangling arm a little bit was Whitcomb, the outside linebacker. He's played a little inside and outside for Montana Tech, but he's had troubles. And to me, it looks like with that right shoulder a little bit. But I'm told he's active to go today, so we'll have to keep an eye on that.
Boy, and he's a big factor on this defense this year. Each and every game, his numbers get better and better. Has a great nose for the football and always seems to be in the right place at the right time.
Just makes great plays. He's great in pass drops. He's good rushing the passer. But where I really like him is the team wants to run the perimeter to his side. He knows how to take on blockers. He stays on his feet, keeps his outside arm free, and generally makes the tackle. He's a full-service guy, what you'd call a five-tooler out there in the alley.
Well, again, thanks for joining us here as we get ready to roll. And actually, speaking of linebackers, Montana Tech gets commitment from a tremendous one, possibly the best one in the state of Montana, as joining Montana Tech football next year is Brady Casagranda from Bozeman. A multifaceted guy, plays running back and linebacker, and he will play linebacker here at Montana Tech, joining his brother here in the program.
Your older brother Jake here is a redshirt freshman at quarterback. And, of course, their father was a teammate of mine back in the late 80s here at Montana Tech, an outstanding player in his own right. And it's nice to see him funneling those bodies, those good athletes back here to Montana Tech.
Yeah, that was a big one. I know Coach was jacked about that yesterday. So, again, thanks for joining us. We're ready to roll here as Montana Tech hosting Simpson University. Simpson will kick off. Montana Tech's offense will start with the football.
Looks like Renner and Levi Torgerson back to receive, and they're not committing to one side or the other yet. They're stacked back there. I'm assuming that they will want, now they commit.
Now they split out.
Hopefully they'll get the ball and maybe Torgerson's hands, see if he can get another one to the house here to start this game.
So, again, thanks for joining us here as we get rolling here. Simpson University, their first time playing Montana Tech in our 123rd year of football. And the kickoff, they're going to run fake reverse here on the near side. Levi Torgerson. Torgerson has a lane. Torgerson's going to take it to the house. Levi Torgerson is going to get his second return of the year. They fake the reverse. Levi is not touched.
I didn't see the number down here, but somebody got a pancake kick-out block that Torgerson cut up inside, and nothing but green grass after that block was made, and Torgerson outruns the field again.
Here we go. Take a look at our Case IH replay here as the kickoff going back. There we go. So they fake the reverse here on this side. There's a good block here out in front. And then he's just gone. I mean, Levi is just absolutely gone. He takes that near sideline. His second return kick to the house. It had been 4 years since we had seen a kickoff return for a touchdown, and now Levi has done it twice this year.
And a great kick-out block there. Charlie Kurgan, the Missoula Sentinel, correct?
That sounds right, yep.
Yeah, Charlie Kurgan, the big special teams phenom here for Montana Tech, executing a perfect block, springing Torgerson for 6.
So the kicking unit is in for the PAT. 12 seconds into the football game, Montana Tech leading 6-0.
He beat his last return by 1 second.
1 second. The kick and hold is up and good. Montana Tech up 7-0 as Levi Torgerson, his second kickoff returned for a touchdown. Ordiger football here on Digger Vision. We'll take a quick break, and we are back here to alumni, ladies and gentlemen, right after this.
It's important for Butte Auto to partner with community partners such as Montana Tech Athletics because of the commonalities of goals that we have for the Butte community. With Tech Athletics, we look at it as a way to not only provide great things for the community, whether that's attending football games, volleyball games, basketball games. It also helps Tech Athletics to have further outreach to bring in more athletes, more students, and really add to the diversity of Butte. Butte Auto and Montana Tech Athletics. We're going to do great things together.
Back here once again to the campus of Montana Tech, Alumni Coliseum. Montana Tech leading 7-0. Levi Torgerson takes it to the house. And the kickoff going to be fielded 1 yard deep. The return towards the center of the field. Going left, nice lane, out across the 15, out to the 20-yard line. And a flag comes in way downfield. It looked like James Mackey with the return. Redshirt freshman out of Everett, Washington.
Good job on the cover that time. Get a piece of the return man's shoulder, J.R. Seawald. Nice tackle out there, short of the 25-yard line. That's what you're looking for there.
We have holding, number 14 on the return team. Half the distance to goal. First down.
So a holding call. Boy, and that came from the back judge. I was kind of wondering what that was going to be with that, with the flag coming in from the back.
They're really paying attention out there.
Boy, I'm here to tell you. So the ball comes back to the 10-yard line, and Simpson will start things off at the 10. 1st and 10 from the 10. And out of the shotgun is Caleb Anderson, a redshirt freshman out of American Canyon High School. That is in California. He'll take a 3-step drop, looking left the whole way. Pass is tipped, dropped, and we have a flag out on the edge.
Not to be confused with Montana Tech secondary coach Kalen Anderson.
Oh, now I'm going to have that in my head all day. Now you've just put the seed in my head, so I'm going to call him Caleb Anderson at least 9 times today.
Anything to screw you up, pal.
So the penalty goes against Montana Tech, 5-yard penalty. And 1st and 5 here for the Red Hawks.
I thought I saw movement up there before that. Was that offsides, did you say?
Looks like that's the case. 1 back, 3 receivers. Anderson awaiting the snap. Montana Tech 4-man front. Man in motion all the way across. Hand off to the tailback. He gets a little daylight across the 20 to the 21-yard line. And a good carry that time out to the 21.
Getting down the line of scrimmage, Anthony Oakes, who's young redshirt freshman, the front guy out of Great Falls. Just had a year where he's just gotten better and better, and this defensive front's just gotten better and better this year. I thought they had an outstanding football game. Granted, they gave up 27 points last weekend against Western. That's a good get.
It is a good get.
You know, you have. I went into that game thinking Montana Tech might need 40 to win it.
Kindle with the carry that time. He'll stay in the backfield. Anderson out of the shotgun in motion is Ramirez. Looking towards Ramirez. He gets the ball out on the edge, and he'll get swallowed up. Great job by the secondary on that side. Had one guy to beat, and a Montana Tech's corner wins that battle. Was that Angel on the far side?
No, it was safety getting up there, Jace Thompson.
Okay.
Junior defensive back, which leads me to one of my early concerns. I do not see Peyton Gonzer in the game, so maybe they're healing Peyton up and getting Jace Thompson a look here at safety.
2nd and 13. As you take a look at the top of your screen, we have scores from the other games around the Frontier Conference. We'll keep you updated on. 1 back, 4 receivers. Anderson, blitz coming. Anderson in trouble. He gets away from 1 and goes down at the 6-yard line. Great pressure by Montana Tech, and the digs get to him. The first one there, it looked like, was Prince.
Yeah, Prince Hall. That's they were excited to get him back in the mix. His first action of the season was last weekend against Western, and it was a situational thing. They saw him a lot on 2nd and long and 3rd down situations. Really athletic, rush the passer, not huge, but brings speed and the ability to win a little bit of hand play there at the line of scrimmage, and he was in there in a hurry.
3rd and 24 here, a long 3rd down. Redline Sports 3rd down as Anderson out of the shotgun. 1 back, 4 receivers. Montana Tech 4 guys in the line of scrimmage. Slot in motion. Moving to the right side. Quick hitter out on the left, bobbled and dropped. His intended target over there was Marcos Maya, his tight end. That'll bring up 4th down, and Montana Tech should get good field position here.
No real first down potential there, but you in that situation, you just want a little breathing room, a throw and a catch, a little confidence builder. That Anderson threw a really good deliverable ball and just unable to get the completion.
So Torgerson back to return the kick. He's standing at the 44-yard line.
And I believe he's licking his chops.
Oh, can you even imagine? 7 yards deep in the end zone. The punt is away. Loose spiral, short kick, bounces at the 37 and fielded at the 46-yard line. And honestly, I like that play, as diving on it for Simpson was
timeout on the field,
as he did not want to allow number 2 to touch that football.
Exactly. You wonder why in that situation he doesn't let that ball bounce again. Well, Torgerson was still in pretty good position to go pick that thing up on one hop.
And Funderburk was like, no, we're going to hop on that and call it a day.
Smart play.
So it looks like we have a timeout on the field, ladies and gentlemen. So with it, we'll take one as well. Montana Tech leading 7-0, 12-13 left to play here in this first quarter. We'll take a break. We're back here on Digger Vision after this.
Hey, Dave Brennan here with Case IH. One of the new options for model year 2024 is going to be an open spoke gauge wheel. That open spoke gauge wheel is going to be available on all 2000 series planters. That's going to help those growers in adverse
Welcome back here
conditions
once
where they're
again to the campus of Montana Tech Alumni Coliseum. Blake Thielen in the offense is out. They'll go empty. In motion is going to be Levi Torgerson. Torgerson, 35-30, cut back, trying to get around the safety. He'll go out of bounds at the 13.
A little push pass off the fly motion that time. Well blocked up front. Levi turns the corner and having himself a day here early.
Levi Torgerson well over 100 yards of offense thus far. Great blocking again out in front. And Levi out of bounds at the 19-yard line. Montana Tech out. Thielen it shot out of the shotgun. Torgerson goes in motion. Handoff going to go to Landers. Landers Smith across the 15, and he'll go down at the 14.
Good job of digging his head in there that time. Linebacker Jeremiah Prince, 5'9", 190-pound redshirt freshman out of Fallon, Nevada.
So it looks like they'll sub out Logan Kennedy at tight end and bring Michelotti in. Nick Michelotti, redshirt freshman out of Helena Capital. He'll go wide left, excuse me. Blake Thielen puts Pierce in motion. Handoff going to go to, boy, Landers got some room. Landers inside the 10. Good stiff arm 5 down to the 3-yard line.
Did good job of setting that edge. Left tackle that time. I'm assuming is that safe back in there? Or excuse me, Brandon Spencer setting that edge for Landers to clear that corner and get down inside the 5.
Boy, that's just an outstanding job out in front. Landers gets a good stiff arm right here. And we are down inside the Case IH red zone. Full house backfield. And now they'll swap up. Tight ends go to the right side. Landers Smith in the backfield, first and goal from the 3. Smith, fake. They're going to go right side. Wide open, easy touchdown, Montana Tech, as they floated out to Logan Kennedy, and not a soul near him. Montana Tech going to go up 13-0.
Logan having himself a great year there at tight end. Both helping this running game, Landers Smith and his old front in the rushing attack, but Logan's just been good. You know, all his play action stuff, he's answered every call and had himself a year.
Boy, I'll tell you, Landers sells that. They fake the handoff to him, and the linebackers just bite, and that just leaves him wide open to float out and get that one out in the flat.
Yeah, good job. Just he reset in the backfield, little hip hop motion from the left side to the right side of the quarterback, inside zone fake, and they had Simpson hook, line, and sinker.
Kicking unit, the PAT is money. 14-0, Montana Tech with the lead. 10:24 left to play here in this opening quarter. Frontier Conference action. Well, I guess we're not Frontier Conference quite yet. We're Frontier Conference next year, as Simpson will be one of the plethora of teams that will join us in the Frontier Conference next year. We will balloon to a 14-team conference.
14? I thought it was 12.
14.
Wow. I'd have to do some homework.
We're going to have 2 17 fields, an East and a West. The winners of each of those will go to the playoffs.
Will they have an overall conference championship game before them playoffs?
I don't think so. I wish they would. They haven't asked me if what my feelings are on it yet. Once they do ask it, I'll let them know.
They'll come to you.
10:24 left to play here in the opening quarter. Montana Tech leading 14-0. And the kicking unit is in to boot this one away. Simpson, 2 guys back.
Yeah, you start to get a feeling, Montana Tech could get away from Simpson here, but, what an opportunity, if you do so, to get a look at a lot of young bodies.
This one going to go a little deeper. It's going to go all the way out the back of the end zone. So the kick out the back of the end zone, and Simpson will take the touchback.
Baranowski's done a nice job kicking off all year.
As a freshman, too.
Yes, as a freshman. Got a couple nice-looking kickers, place kicker Dylan Root and Baranowski sharing the duties. And, he's done a nice job meeting that football off the kickoff this year.
1st and 10 here for the Red Hawks. Thus far, Anderson 1 of 2. And Cabrera has 1 carry for 6 yards.
We haven't seen a ton of J.R. Seawald. Now, I noticed in the previous series, he's in there at inside linebacker. You got your Mike linebacker and Wyatt and Seawald to seeing a little more action. I haven't seen a ton of him this year.
Trips receivers right, quarterback going to keep it himself. He pulls it and slides out to the 26-yard line. He'll gain 1. I like that play call.
Wick comes in there at outside linebacker. I tell you what, he must be a tough son of a gun. A couple games ago, I met him after the game. He couldn't even raise that right arm to shake my hand or anything. It was just limp, and then we saw him last weekend come off the field with that arm draped again. But playing through pain and playing really good football.
Yeah, I was going to say, you would never know watching him the last 2 weeks, or last 2 games, I should say. 2nd down and 9. Anderson going to swing the screen out here on the near side. Good block, and out of bounds at the 28-yard line. As the pass complete out to Joel Gomez.
Whether it's a tight end or a back or anything like that on that swing screen to the perimeter, it's just a tough task to get or keep a helmet on Whitcomb. He wins the hand play on that lead block, keeps his outside arm free. He's as good as I've seen, just taking on a block and making a play.
3rd down and 7 here. Ball at the Red Hawk 28-yard line. 1 back, 3 receivers. Montana Tech, 4-man front. Prince on the bottom of your screen showing blitz. Here it comes. They're going to bring the house. Anderson across the middle hits his tight end, but it is going to be short of the 1st down. He never did get to the 35-yard line. That was a nice pitch and catch as he got to his tight end, and Trevor Thomas out of Costa Mesa, California.
Good job setting in there by that offensive front. Montana Tech brought both insides right up the gut. They looked to time that blitz. They just mistimed it. Both had to come to a stop. And that quarter or half a second difference, because they both came untouched, allowed Anderson the ability to find his tight end. And now it looks like they're maybe going to go for it, needing a half a yard.
Play clock is down to 9.
Yeah, they're probably going to talk this one over.
Yeah. We must be either going to let her run to 0 or call a timeout here, and we will get a timeout. So Simpson does call a timeout. They were kind of milling about there for a few. It looked like they were in pretty good discussions about whether they were going to try and go after it or not.
And I don't think this is a smart decision, in a regular game, but you're down 14-0 early. This is a coach's call, and you kind of support it either way. You can understand the reason for the decision to maybe talk this over. But if this is a 0-0 game or a 7-0 game, big rivalry, you kick this ball away. And I don't care what the metrics say. And you hear it all the time.
Oh, yeah.
On Saturday and Sunday.
Sorry. And I'm just concentrating on the huddle. Their offensive huddle is still there, and it does not look like they have, I'm trying to see if this is like our special teams group over on the left or not, but the offense is going to come out.
Yeah, I would anticipate possibly just trying to get Montana Tech to come across the line of scrimmage here.
Well, but you can't call a second timeout. They take your 5-yard penalty,
take your 5-yard penalty.
4th down and 1. Anderson, 1 back. Tight end left. Montana Tech showing pressure. Here it comes. Handoff to the tailback. Going nowhere. He's going to lose yardage.
Montana Tech blitzed right into it. It's like they knew the play call.
The Digs blow it up. 4th down attempt will go the way of Montana Tech, so the defense will get the ball back to the O, and the Digs an opportunity to add to their 14-0 lead.
Yeah, we'll see what Montana Tech wants to work on coming out of here. A lot of times with these teams, and this goes back 25, 30 years, these first, 10, 12, possibly 20 plays are scripted. We'll see if maybe it's something they come in on script, or maybe they try and sting them early, get Wyatt Alexander down the one-on-one opportunity down the short side boundary here.
1st down and 10 here for Montana Tech. Ball at the Red Hawk 34-yard line. Thielen brings Levi in motion. Play action. He's going to go deep. Looking for the deep shot downfield. Has a man. Touchdown, Montana Tech.
Alexander, just a deep post.
Alexander will go from 34 yards out. And another touchdown for Wyatt and the Digs.
Yeah, that was good play action. They play action, the push pass off the fly motion to Torgerson, and then a little inside zone hand fake. That's a lot going on there for a secondary to read, a linebacker set to read. But, yeah, they got Alexander just got off the football, and he's tough to run down in a sprint. He got 2-3 yards of clear.
So they go to the swinging gate, and they're going to snap it, trying to get to the end zone. They do. So they'll get in for the 2-point conversion. Montana Tech leading 22-0 as they snap it and go in for 2. 8:02 left to play here in this opening quarter. Looks like we have a timeout on the field, so we'll take one. Montana Tech up over the Red Hawks of Simpson University, 22-0. We're here at Bob Green Field, and we are back here right after this.
Hi, I'm Dr. Brian Mark, orthopedic surgeon, specializing in sports medicine here at Butte, Montana. As an athlete, I think it's important to see a sports medicine specialist, as we have a different skill set than your general orthopedist in terms of restoring anatomy and restoring function in an athlete. One of the most kind of rewarding things being here in Butte, being the team doctor for Montana Tech, Western, as well as the local high schools and the schools here in town. It's very rewarding working with the young athletes.
Trident 5550, the Case IH Combination Application System Solution. A couple of key points for model year 2024 are going to be the addition of a 135-foot spray boom for that enhanced productivity, and then AIM Command Flex 2, the ultimate in advanced spray technology, individual on-off nozzle control, a host of other features, making the most of your product application. To learn more, visit your Case IH distributor or caseih.com.
(22-0) our score. The Digs up over Simpson University. And Montana Tech will kick it away from the 35-yard line. Again, thanks for joining us here on a Saturday afternoon.
You talk about, you hear me talk about getting young guys in the game. What I like to do is not full sale line changes, right? Maybe all number twos. Get a backup quarterback in with that number one offensive front. Get a tailback in with that number one offensive front. You want to look at a receiver? Get him in there. And then defensively the same way. You want to look at a safety? Get him in there with the rest of the starting secondary, that kind of thing, and let him fit in.
And this one will go out the back of the end zone once again. So the touchback, and the Red Hawks will look to get the offense moving here a little bit. So far, the Red Hawks have, let's see here, Anderson is 3 of 4 through the air for 3 yards. And Cabrera has their long carry of the day. 1 carry, 6 yards for Cabrera. As of right now, let's see what we have here.
Yeah, it's bad enough you're having trouble moving the football, but you're also playing against a defense that has continually gotten better game in and game out, in my opinion. And they're starting to play, a lot better football than they were early in the season. And that's just got to be a defense gelling together.
8 plays, 0 yards for the Red Hawks thus far. They'll look to change it here. Hand off to the tailback. Big hit on the left side, and it's going to go backwards. 3-yard loss as the handoff to Micah Kindle.
Good fill out there. That's cornerback Angel Sanchez coming up and supporting the running game, getting into that running back's legs, and a good tackle for loss.
That'll bring up 2nd down and 12 officially. 7:38 left to play here in this opening quarter. Again, thanks for joining us on a Saturday afternoon. Montana Tech is home next week with Rocky Mountain College. Then they'll go on the road to Arizona for the first trip ever down to Arizona Christian.
Are we driving or flying?
I thought we'd take your plane. 2nd and 12. 1 back, 4 receivers. Actually, split backs. My apologies. Anderson has 1 on each side of him. He's going to put man in motion. That's Miller. Handoff going nowhere. Just another great play in the backfield. Montana Tech getting tremendous penetration, and that goes nowhere.
It's another guy, Wyatt DeVos, who's been getting continually better game in and game out, playing a defensive end and that 4-man front, getting up there off the edge, beating a block, tackle for loss.
I'm glad you said that because DeVos feels like one that has just really blossomed on the inside. He's getting strong, really holds his ground, and really getting upfield. 3rd down, 3rd and 19 officially.
It's a benefit of that 4-man front. You get those 2 big D tackles in there. You can be a little lighter in the loafers on the edge with your 2 defensive ends and get faster guys in there.
Looking for the drop back pass, 4-man pressure across the middle, comes in low. Does the receiver make the grab?
Well, the ball looked to me like it skipped in there. Yeah, and this side judge down here has got the call.
So that will bring up a 4th down here for the Red Hawks. So the Red Hawks will punt it away here. They have run 10 offensive plays, make that 11 offensive plays for -9 yards as of right now. And Montana Tech, again, going to get very good field position. Levi Torgerson is back to set up for the return. 6:16 left to play here in the opening quarter. Shield unit is in, snap a little high, and he is going to get it away. Good punt, ton of air under it, pushes Levi back to the 43. He's across midfield to the right side this time, across the 35, down the sideline, out of bounds at the 28.
Levi doesn't look real stressed out right now.
Nope. So Levi Torgerson, a really nice return down to the 28-yard line, and Montana Tech's offense will get another go.
Yeah, I'd be surprised now if they came back and tried to sting the Simpson secondary again, maybe get back into the running game here. Landers Smith, I can't see who's coming out right now, but right now, even as early as it is in this game, would be a good chance to get to look at a little more at Vetter and Renner there at tailback.
Yep. So out comes the offense. Landers still in the backfield. And it looks like they're going to start with 2 backs, as we have a tight end in the backfield as well, as Logan Kennedy is off the left side of quarterback Blake Thielen. Man in motion is Michelotti. Handoff going to go to Landers. Landers Smith left side. He has a blocker out in front. Logan Kennedy leads the way. Landers inside the 5. Touchdown Montana Tech. A 25-yard run for Landers Smith. And he will break the plane. Landers Smith, his first rushing touchdown of the afternoon. His 10th, I believe, of the year. And Montana Tech up 28-0.
Yeah, that almost looked too easy. That's just stretched to the back, to the wide side of the field.
Watch the block here that Kennedy gives him out in front. Logan leading the charge as we look at our case construction instant replay. Logan lowers the boom, and Landers is gonzo. Beautiful block from the tight end that time. Landers.
Great job all the way to the goal line by the wideouts as well.
Kicking unit is in here. Montana Tech leading 28-0. And the Digs will look to add on to it here. And the kick is up and good. 29-0.
Right now, you're just looking for execution in all phases, and they're getting it. You know, this is a good game to polish up straight through the kicking game.
So thanks for joining us here on a Saturday afternoon. Or Digger football, as you take a look at the top of your screen, we have our runner there. You can take a look at the other scores in the Frontier as of today.
College of Idaho. Playing good football.
As we get the teams out here, can't say enough about my crew over there a couple feet to our left with Barrett and Jason and Pat and even Tommy O. I'll throw him in there. That crew working so hard, and I mean, it just pays dividends here right now. So the kicking unit is in here for the Digs. Montana Tech.
Sean Ryan got his hand in anything up here?
Well, he coaches us all. He sits in the golf cart down at the bottom of the stairs and yells at us.
After he handles the parking?
Yep.
Down there.
Yep. Kicking unit in here for the Digs. Last two have been out the back of the end zone. Low line drive, and this one will join it as it goes out the back of the end zone as well. That's such an incredible weapon to have when you can totally eliminate a return game from a team. Just blast it out of the back of the end zone, bring the offense in, and call it a day.
There's so many players on a football roster where their only involvement in a game is kickoff coverage. Those are the only ones I feel bad for.
True. Yeah.
You know, those psychos, they they want to get on there and go down and lay some hat and get a hit. But you're right, it is a great weapon to have.
Speaking of those, wasn't it Todd Schlavitz's birthday the other day? Did I see that?
Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't have saw it.
I think I did see it was Todd's. I think he's probably still my favorite psycho from said kickoff return action.
I wonder if he still realizes you can fair catch a punt.
I don't think so. 1st and 10, handoff is going nowhere. That's going to be a loss of a yard.
It's almost like Montana Tech defensively is in the huddle for the call right now. They've got bodies everywhere. Simpson wants to attack this defense.
12 plays for Simpson, negative 10 yards as of right now. Montana Tech on the other side has run 6 offensive plays for 103.
And 3 scores.
I was going to say a 95-yard return on top of it. 2nd and 11 here for Simpson. Tailgate was hopping earlier. I have a feeling this is going to be one where at halftime we're going to have a whole lot of people forget about the second half and just stay in the tailgate here. Anderson lost it. Completely lost the football. Was he in the motion of throwing? I think is really the only question here, right?
Yeah, we get one waving it off as an incomplete pass. This will go back all the way to the Tom Brady tuck rule type thing.
Jason, you got a replay on that, brother? Can we take a look at that?
Because I believe he tries to reset this and drops it.
All right.
Here we go. They got change of possession.
Let's take a look at
on
this.
the field is a fumble.
Boy, look at that ball.
Recovered by Montana.
Yeah, he held up the pass,
First down.
and the ball, when it leaves his hand, is actually traveling backwards against his body. He loses it at the back end. Forget it. Yeah, that's a fumble.
There you go. So the fumble will go to Montana Tech. Thank you, Jason. Outstanding replay there. Our Case Construction instant replay. And Montana Tech will get the football back here. Again, short field here for the Digs. As they'll start things off at the 19-yard line
to replay
of the Red Hawks, and they're going to go to the replay. So again, unfortunately, they can't use our replay. They use basically the cameras that you use to film games. So you have one on the crow's nest, one at the end zone. I think that is good enough to see there, though, where that ball comes out.
Yeah, ball comes out on the trigger, right?
Yep. So here you take a look at it from the back of the end zone here. Get a different look at it completely. As heavy pressure coming that time, Anderson looked like he tried to alter his throwing motion to maybe get it around the defender. As boy coming hard is DeVos.
Yeah, that's on the back draw of that throw. So
great job with our instant replay there as DeVos putting heavy pressure once again. So the teams will huddle up. They went over to the replay tent.
Shouldn't take them too long, I wouldn't think.
I wouldn't think so. Little wind here in the mining city, but otherwise a gorgeous day. Temperature-wise, I haven't even looked in a while. Let me see what we got. 56 degrees.
Supposed to get up to 60.
Oof. It's a burner.
They've been pretty lucky.
Yeah,
you know,
we've been really lucky.
Remember 2 years ago we had 3 home games that were just cold or rainy or cold and snowy. Yep. But other than that, I don't remember bad October weather in this town in the last 15 or 20 years.
No, goodness, no. We've been really lucky. So the teams will break and come out here. I was going to say, the officials haven't even come out of the tent yet. Now they will.
The ruling on the field stands. A charge timeout to Lincoln. Their second timeout of the half. Simpson.
Okay.
I'd expect Montana Tech to keep it on the ground here. Certainly there's stuff you want to work on throwing the ball, but I don't think you do that in this game unless you've got number 2 or number 3 in there at quarterback.
So Blake Phelan out of the shotgun after the turnover. Short field here for the Digs. 1st and 10 from the Redhawks 19-yard line. Lander Smith in the backfield. He has 3 carries for 39 yards on a score. Rocky trailing Western 7-0 here early. Thielen drop back, crossing route. Wyatt Alexander to the 5. Wyatt bounces off 2 defenders and waltzes into the end zone. Wow. Wyatt Alexander, 19-yard catch. His 2nd catch of the day puts him up over 50 yards. His 2nd touchdown of the day as well. And Montana Tech goes up 35-0 with 5 minutes left here in the opening quarter.
That was a great job upfield, lead blocking by Levi Torgerson. You know, he does it all. You know, he's not a huge guy, but I think that's Levi at the goal line sealing the last defender.
That certainly is the MO of this group. If you're not going to block in that receiving core, you're not going to get snaps. As you take a look there, great block on the edge.
Oh, that's Logan Kennedy. Excuse me. Should I be surprised?
Why do you sound disappointed?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just like, I should think this through a little better. He does so much for his teammates. He's an outstanding tight end and football player.
36-0. Montana Tech has run 7 offensive plays for 122 points or 122 yards and 36 points. And Simpson has run 13 offensive plays for negative 15 yards as of right now.
Yeah, it's time to start looking at some youth.
You've got, well, especially when you start looking this Montana Tech team is loaded with seniors. Well, I think we're, 28 seniors this year? I think senior day is going to take like 3 days to actually get through with the incredible group of seniors we have. But you're losing some very key positions, and one of them is obviously quarterback. When your starting quarterback is a 5th-year senior, your backup quarterback also a senior, that leaves 2 redshirt freshmen in the 2 redshirt freshmen and a true freshman in your quarterback room, and one of them you'd have to assume is going to take over the mantle next year. So the idea of getting some live snaps and go from there.
This is where you find out if you think they may be capable to take over the mantle.
And I think a lot of people are really excited to see both. When you talk about Wilson from up north,
up in Polson,
and then of course Mr. Casagrande from down to Bozeman. Both have won a few football games through their career. You know, it's funny, and they're different. You know, Wilson, I think a lot of people obviously think of as a cutter slasher, has a great arm. But Casagrande is another one. That dude can run. You know, he isn't just a pocket kind of passer.
But he is so good in the pocket.
Yes.
I haven't seen a high school quarterback trust his protection like Jake Casagrande did his senior year at Bozeman.
They'll get the return, and it's going nowhere. Out to the 14-yard line. That ball came out. But I would assume they're going to whistle it down.
One official blew the beanbag.
Oh, they're going to say turnover to Montana Tech.
What's the record for points scored in a quarter at Montana Tech?
I don't know. Let's take a look at this. We have the back camera here again. Thanks to Cody back there on the camera at that angle. So he takes the return here toward the middle. When does this ball come out? So he's still not down. There, the ball is wrestled away.
That's Justice Peterson got that ball knocked out.
Justice Peterson from Dillon, Montana. Handoff going right side, Lander Smith. Smith turns the corner 5 and into the end zone, but we have a flag, and you'd have to assume this one's coming back for a hold on the edge.
That's a tough call. That's a tough flag. You know, that's at the far side line judge there. I think Brandon Spencer's in pretty good shape here leading out on the edge. They're going to get him with a hold.
10-yard penalty for the spot of the foul. First down.
It looked to me like he was leveraged really well in front of Smith there.
So the penalty?
Simpson's just taking bad angles on that. You know, they got guys that are taking maybe a shot at Landers to the inside. You've got to get somebody to contain outside zone. The first thing you have to do is contain it and squeeze it and shorten that edge so that the fellow defenders can get down the line of scrimmage and make a play.
1st and 15 in the Case IH red zone. Handoff going to go to Landers here on the near side. He has blocking again. Landers turns the corner across the 15-10 down to the 8. Landers Smith going to get the penalty yards plus 5 more back the other way.
We got Nordigger down here on the edge, down on the sideline.
And that might be Whitcomb. Oh, I mean, no, obviously it's not. I apologize.
It might
trying
be
to see who was out in front.
Alexander. I see
single digit, it felt like.
Snyder's out there. Tough to see what happened to him.
4:32 left to play here in the opening quarter. Montana Tech leading 36-0.
Such a physical game for these receivers in today's game, the RPO game or the stretch play and all that. There's just so much physical engagement for those guys on the edge. Always a risk of getting some injury. And if you don't mix it up out there, you just flat don't play. And I don't care if you're a 4.2 40 guy and can catch anything in sight. But in today's game, if you can't block the perimeter, you will not see the football field.
That is the truth. Montana Tech 8 offensive plays, 132 yards on the ground. Also 189-yard return kickoff for a score. As we continue to monitor the player down here.
Maybe helping him out up now. Oh, it's
Parker Johnston.
Yeah, Parker Johnston. You know, he's had to deal with so many injuries in his career. It's just a shame. He finally got himself back to healthy. He's been in the mix. And once again, it looks like an injury that he's unable to put any weight on that left leg. It's just unfortunate. Such a good dude. I mean, just such a good dude and such a team guy.
Yeah, and that's it right there. That's the big one. I mean, just an absolute team guy, junior out of Helena Capital.
You think you're a team guy? He's been through, I think he told me 7 surgeries on either one of his legs. That's just unbelievable. Now he's got a little bit of weight on it, so we'll see. Yeah, he's no stranger. The unfortunate thing is he's no stranger to this pain.
Blake Thielen dropping back empty. He's looking for the back corner of the end zone. Up, caught. They'll say out of bounds.
I don't know if they want to take a look at this.
Yeah,
that's Nick Michelotti. It looked like he got that trail foot, his left foot down to me. But he's not really fighting it, but it looked like...
Here we go. Thanks, Jason. Let's take a look at our Case Construction instant replay. Ball to the back of the end zone. He gets separation. He pulls it down. Oh, he is out.
Yeah, it was out.
There you go. Look at that.
It was his trail
instant
foot.
replay spot on.
I like it.
Thank you, Jason. 3rd down and 5. Michelotti goes in motion. They fake the pitch and flags everywhere.
Full start. Number 60 on the offense. 5-yard penalty.
So the digs got started early.
Now you're going to get back to 3rd and 10. Now this is a good chance for Blake Thielen, who obviously he struggled a little bit last week against Western.
5 seconds. Thank
you. This would be a good chance for good 3rd and 10. You're going to expect solid coverage, maybe an attempt at a pass rush. It's a good chance for him to get comfortable, look at an option 2 or 3, and regain comfort there in the pocket.
3rd down and 10 here for the digs after the penalty. Ball back at the 14-yard line inside the Case IH red zone. One back at home, handoff, play action. Thielen rolling right, airs it up and into the end zone. Touchdown, Levi Torgerson.
Good job, Levi Torgerson. He bent in, looked like he was going to run a dig route, and then just squared it out at the goal line and created massive separation here.
I mean, even look at the space Thielen has.
Defender
There's just
fell
no
down.
one. Across the end zone, Levi Torgerson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. Montana Tech up 42-0 with 3:59 left to play here in the opening quarter. So the kicking unit is in for the PAT. Little steam that time, and Montana Tech able to get it through. 43-0. The Ore Diggers up over the Red Hawks. As we are here on Digger Vision, thanks for joining us on a Saturday afternoon. Montana Tech is rolling as of right now. 10 plays, 146 yards, and 43 points. And an 89-yard kickoff return for Levi Torgerson, his second of the year. So the Digs will kick off here to the Red Hawks. The Red Hawks have run 13 offensive plays for negative 15 yards.
Yeah, it's time to start looking at some youth. You know, and I've never taken the Steve Spurrier stance. You know, it's not our job to stop our offense, it's yours. But you don't want any situation, what comes around goes around, any of that type of stuff. This is a good chance to look at, you know, young bodies, 2s, 3s, maybe in some case 4s. Get them some good action. They paid their dividends, right? They're there at practice. They're there during the preseason. They're there in the offseason. Start getting them some playing time.
Awaiting the kickoff here.
That's me telling them what to do.
It's again why we're in this booth and not the one to our immediate right.
Yeah, and in an offense or a team's defense, there's other things that you got to take into consideration. One of them is all conference, right?
Yep.
All American, you know, and those rely on what? Numbers, you know. So you want your goods, your A's, your ones to get their numbers, sure, but yeah, not at the expense of I'm not going to say running up the score. I mean, they're just running basic stuff. It's not like they're running end arounds, double reverses, or anything like that. But yeah, it's time to start to get your youth in there running your stuff and see how well they can execute it.
I kind of expected that to happen in the second half. I mean, that kind of always seems like the line. It'll be interesting to see when we start to see the youth in.
And I agree with you, but it's gotten out of hand here in the first quarter.
Yeah, it has. Bouncing out left across the 30. Good footwork, 35. First down yardage, out of bounds at the 42. Nice run that time with the carry is going to be Micah Kindle. Kindle out of Mendez High School in Los Angeles. And he will get the first down of the day for the Red Hawks.
Good execution, good positive play by Simpson. And that's all they're looking for, too. It's just they just want to be better in the end of the first quarter and going into the second quarter than they were to start the game. That's, it's small goals at this time.
Yep. First down and 10, 3 receivers. Kindle out behind Anderson. Kindle going to get the carry, and he just gets destroyed. My goodness. That was violent.
That's just a beat block at the line of scrimmage. Trey Yates staying on his feet, beating the block, and getting a full run at the back.
That is just
excuse me, that's not Yates. That's DJ Brown.
DJ Brown right in the middle. My goodness. So DJ, that one's going to go backwards for a loss of 5. Oh, actually almost 6. Second and 16 here for Simpson. One back, 3 receivers. Montana Tech showing pressure. Count almost got Brown into the neutral zone across the fronts. And that one is going to go incomplete.
Good play by Angel Sanchez. And again, he's always got that upfield arm in great position, always reaches with his off arm, unless he's got a chance to make an interception. He's a technique guy, and he's just solid. And you know what? It'd be easy in this secondary or at any position in a game that's 43-0 in the first quarter to get lazy. But you just can't do that. You got to stay in tune and work on your craft, and a great job there by Angel.
Maya, the intended target that time. 2 receivers on each side here for Anderson. He's 3 of 6 for 3 yards. Slot in motion. Goes back to the left side. Anderson, 3-step drop, rifles it across the middle, and that one floated on him.
Yeah,
boy, it went nose up and just took off.
A little bit of contact crossing the field there, but obviously an uncatchable football, and a good job by Jaden Downs there on the crossing route in good position. Just waiting for an opportunity, right? That's a guy we saw come out of the gates against Georgetown and Kentucky with 3 interceptions, and he's just had an outstanding year there. And he's kind of the broadside corner, the wide side corner for this Tech defense.
So 2:26 left to play here in the first quarter. The punting unit is in here for Simpson. Tech gets pressure, but they get it away. Good kick as well. Takes a bounce at the 25. Rolls and is swallowed up at the 20.
You know what I like and I've mentioned this before, what I really like about Torgerson back there, he is upset if he doesn't get to field that football. That used to drive me crazy. Get that punt fielded if you can. And if he doesn't get it, even on a hop or two, he's still kind of upset with himself, because he wants that opportunity. He understands the chance of that ball maybe lurching forward and rolling down inside the 10 or 5-yard line, but that guy just wants to play football, and he wants to get that thing returned.
First down and 10 here for the Digs. Up to the line of scrimmage. Simpson going to bring 5 guys up to the defensive front. 3 guys down in the 3-point, 2 guys upright. Out of the shotgun. Thielen still in at quarterback. Deep pitch going to go to Lander Smith. Lander turns it upfield, and not much there. He'll get swallowed up.
Yeah, does a nice job. Linebacker Jonathan Scott, 6 foot, 230-pounder, out of Inglewood, California, getting down the line of scrimmage as Lander Smith goes to cut it up. It's a tough task, one-on-one to drag Lander Smith to the ground. Not many people have been able to do that this year.
That's a pretty short list. Second down 9 here for the Digs. Ball at their own 21-yard line. Far and away their worst field position so far today. 2 receivers wide left. Looks like Wyatt Alexander on the right side. Snap a little high. They're going to run backside screen. Pass completes. Trying to find some footing across the 25 out to the 26-yard line. And Alexander with the catch. He'll pick up 6.
Better job of defending there. They had defenders in better position. They got the receiver contained as he tried to get it upfield. And he's got to, you can see Alexander, he's got to make a decision to get inside the hash mark there. That's where all your help's coming from. So always maintain leverage defensively, outside in, so your other 10 defenders can, you can shorten their path to the football.
Third down and 4 here for the Digs. Up to the line of scrimmage, 2 receivers right. Logan Kennedy going left in motion. Handoff to Smith. Smith tried a little footwork. He's hauled down to the 30, but that will move the chains. Really nice tackle again out on the edge as Charles Matthews, the DB out of San Bernardino, making the stop.
That's one of those situations there. Lander Smith is just a goer, right? He doesn't like to put it in or shift down to second or first, and wait for a block a lot of times. I think if he just shifts down there for a second, lets Spencer kick that defender out, I think he might run to the end zone.
First down and 10. Lander Smith, 6 carries, 54 yards. Full house. They shift out. Michelotti goes wide right. Wyatt Alexander here on the near side. Blake Thielen out of the shotgun. Play action. Thielen has time, wants to throw, moving right. Airs up the deep ball, trying to get Michelotti to the sidelines, and that one's going to fall incomplete.
Wasn't a terrible idea. He had Michelotti going vertical. He just tried to throw him open. Michelotti was running down the hash mark. He wanted to get Michelotti had leverage to the outside. He just tried to throw him open to the sideline, and Michelotti was just unable to adjust early.
5 seconds remaining here in the opening quarter. Montana Tech leading 43-0. Frontier Conference action here on Hall of Fame weekend. And not only football today, but we have a volleyball match at 6 o'clock. Montana Tech going to take on that squad from up north. 1 back, 3 receivers. Play action. Thielen looking for the double route. Thielen. And he's going to run. Shifts hands with it. He's out across the 35. Dives out of bounds at the 37.
Good play. Good play that time. They covered that. They tried to get Logan Kennedy on a wheel route here. Defensively, Simpson covered it well. And a good play. That's a good play by Blake Thielen just to win your teammates, run the football, and gain 8 yards.
15 minutes behind us, and it has been all Montana Tech. 43-0 over Simpson University. We're here on Digger Vision. We'll take a break. Second quarter up after this.
Now's the time to get into Butte Auto and custom build your own ride just the way you want it. Choose from 9 brands and compare them all at one location. Don't wait. Take advantage of our VIP appointment or stay where you are and shop easily from ButteAuto.com. At Butte Auto, we believe in exceptional service and an easy buying process. Easy buying process. Contact one of our 4 dealerships and custom build your next ride at Butte Auto today.
We are back here once again at the campus of Montana Tech. Bob Greenfield, 15 minutes in the books, and Montana Tech leads 43-0. The offense is on the field, 3rd down and 3. Man in motion is Torgerson. Thielen rolling right. Thielen steps up, delivers downfield, pass complete to Michelotti. Michelotti gets past one defender. He's down to the 41-yard line as Michelotti hauled down that time by Jeremiah Prinz.
That was a good find by Thielen. He dropped back, didn't like what he saw early, and it looked like he was going to run, but all he did was just plant and start to attack the line of scrimmage a little bit. That gets the reaction out of that underneath coverage to come and support a quarterback run. Springs Nick Michelotti wide open.
Blake Thielen, 6 of 8 for 102 yards so far today. 2 receivers wide left. Tight ends here on the near side, and running the Wildcat out there, a quarterback is Cade Wyatt. Cade Wyatt spins away from one defender. He's a tight end. Lander Smith, the deep back. Wyatt Alexander in motion up top. Handoff is going to go near side, and Landers hurdles a guy, gets into the end zone for the score. So Lander Smith barrels into the end zone as Brandon Spencer's helmet goes rolling down to the corner of the end zone, and the Digs add another 6 to their total. They lead 49-0.
There's another guy that's had himself a game today is Brandon Spencer. He's been all over the place, that time losing his helmet, but he is making blocks and making life easy for his backs and his wideouts.
Lander Smith, 7 carries, 59 yards, 2 touchdowns on the day. And the kicking unit is in for the PAT. Montana Tech now leads 50-0. 11:37 left to play here in the first half. Frontier Conference football from Bob Greenfield. The Digs of the Red Hawks against Simpson University. Their first year playing football. And they will join the Frontier Conference as a full-time member next year. I mean, it's growing pains. You know, you look at this roster, a whole lot of freshmen. They've got a bunch of juniors. You know, those will turn over. It doesn't take a real long memory to remember College of Idaho when they came back. That first year, people put it on them a little bit. They were loaded with freshmen, had some juniors. Then all of a sudden, you became kind of senior heavy with sophomores, and College of Idaho was a whole lot better. And then year 3, they were obviously a power once we got rolling. And you know, it's certainly it is the perfect scenario. Like they were kind of the Boise State stepping up, if you will. You know, they did it so well. But Simpson, this is tough in the Frontier. I mean, to try to get moving here is not an easy thing.
Next thing you know, you're trying to tackle NFL or Jace Billingsley there at the College of Idaho. Yeah, and I mean, you don't want to come off as condescending or anything like that. Yeah, I mean, this is just how it goes. Ask MSU Northern, right? Yep. When they came in back when I was on the staff there at Montana Tech, and good old Coach Walt Curry, God rest his soul. But he stuck with it. The next thing you know, he was competing in the Frontier, and then you see Coach Mark Sampson go up there and bring in Montana Tech head coach, transfer out of the University of Montana to go play quarterback for his dad at MSU Northern, and next thing you know, they're a national force, right? So, yeah, I mean, it's a process, and if it was easy, everybody would do it, right?
That's it. So again, the Montana Tech will kick off here, leading 50-0. And the kicking unit is out, ready to kick it away. Simpson, 2 deep backs. They've been able to return 2 of the kicks. Otherwise, the rest of them have gone through the back of the end zone. We'll see if this one stays in play. And it will not. It's going to go out the back of the end zone. So a touchback, and the Red Hawks will go again.
Just want to get something started, get the ball moving. You know, first and foremost, come out of here and move the chains. Move them once. You know, small goals. That's just how you have to do it. And do what you know how to do or what you like to do. I mean, you don't want to try and get into page 3, 4, 5, or 20 of that playbook, stuff that you haven't worked on all year. You know, go to your bread and butter and just grind it out, eat clock, you know, give your players a comfort in doing what you like to do.
And out come the Red Hawks out. Simpson University trailing 50-0. Ball at the 25-yard line, 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, Anderson going to hand it off right side. And chasing the play down from the backside, Prince Hall is going to make the stop. A sea of black jerseys out in front as well.
Yeah, didn't see much of that last week, Prince Hall on first down. But now he's getting his legs underneath him, getting back into this starting defense. You're starting to see him more on multiple downs and not just pass downs.
Kendall, 6 carries, 17 yards on the day.
I just know the edge guy, Coach Cody Torgerson, was really excited last weekend when he got to bring Prince Hall aboard to get some snaps against Western.
2nd and 11. 1 back at home, 3 receivers, tight end right. Montana Tech, 4 guys on the defensive front. Anderson, long snap count, slot goes in motion, right to left. Anderson dropping back and knocking that one in the air as Prince gets a hand on it.
Yeah, and he doesn't, in Caleb's defense, he doesn't have much of a chance there. That time just off the edge. DeVos, he hardly gets blocked, So what do you have there for DeVos to get to you at a quarterback? A 2.25 seconds, a 1.5 seconds?
Yeah.
He's got no chance.
So that'll bring up 3rd down and 11.
Just a lot of stuff to work on here. You work on your hand play, you work on your stunts. Are you eating up blockers on a stunt and trying to free up a guy, or is the goal of that stunt to get you freed up? But, yeah, there's a lot to work on here defensively.
2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Man in motion is the tight end. Anderson out of the shotgun. Handoff going to go to his tailback again. Has a lane. He's out across the 30 in daylight. 1st down plus some. As he'll break it out to the 40-yard line. That's going to be a pickup of 16. And a nice-looking run by Micah Kendall.
Yeah, Kendall did a nice job there. Beat a couple tackles, but stayed on his feet. And again, just get back to what you like to do. They're not all going to go for even positive yardage or 5 or 10 yards, but occasionally one will pop. You'll move the chains, keep your offense out there, give your defense some rest. But I can already see some changes there in that Montana Tech secondary. Whitcomb, I'd mentioned, he'd been banged up a little bit. His day may be done. Tyler Kovic last weekend came in relief of Whitcomb there in that alley, that outside linebacker position, and played a great football game as well.
1st and 10 here for the Red Hawks. Split backs, 3 receivers. Man in motion, handoff going to go to the fullback, and it goes nowhere. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it. They sent Kendall in motion, and just nowhere to go up the middle that time.
And they're not really forcing Montana Tech to defend the quarterback here on that inside zone. So often that end guy on the line of scrimmage, they defend it differently now than a lot of teams used to. But at the same time, you want to try and control that guy with some quarterback boot action or play side run action. And they're just not really getting it right now. So the defensive ends that are squeezing down on that inside zone have no secondary read there. They just get to collapse on the football.
2nd and 10 here for the Red Hawks. Man in motion is slot. He'll come back to the near side. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Handoff going to go to the tailback, and he is swallowed up immediately as Kendall gets hammered hard, and I do believe he ran right into Anthony Oakes.
That's Oakes and DJ Brown again in there, having himself a half as well.
3rd down and 10 here for Simpson University. 9:06 left to play here in the first half. Montana Tech leading 50-0 here in the first half. As you take a look at the Case Construction instant replay, Oakes hammering in there with Brown. Play clock down to 9 as Simpson up to the line of scrimmage. Play clock now down to 5. Anderson out of the shotgun. They do get it off. Pressure coming. Anderson floats it across, has his tight end, and he can't hold on to it. Hit him in the hands as he had his man out in front, and that was going to go for some yardage. He was looking for Julian Nessie.
Oakes came off sides, but in his defense, I think he might have had his eyes up looking down at the play clock and saw that play clock zero out and came across the line of scrimmage.
I'm kind of surprised we didn't get the back judge tossing one.
These guys watch TV too. They do it all the time on the weekends.
5 guys in the backfield on the offense. I have offside, number 91 on the defense. Those penalties offset, 3rd down.
So we get offsetting. It was 5 guys in the backfield. Really looked like that got down to 0. So that'll bring up 3rd down and 10. They'll replay the down here. Montana Tech's defense coming up to the line of scrimmage. 4 guys.
Now Oakes comes off the field. And you got DeVos in at one end. And Prince Hall at the other end.
Anderson sends his man in motion to the left side. 2 receivers on each side. Some confusion at the line of scrimmage. Anderson trying to get the snap away. It's down to 2 seconds. He'll drop back, swings it out to his tailback, and we're going to get a stoppage of play.
He must have made contact on that encroachment for them to stop that play. The defender, I think the nose tackle came across the line of scrimmage.
Number 95 on the defense with contact.
For them to stop that play, he made contact.
Still 3rd down.
So they'll give him 5 yards, and we'll replay 3rd down.
Getting a little clunky here. Montana Tech's running some stuff, some games up front. They were anxious to get into a little TT twist there, and just came across the ball a little too early.
Great day here in the Mining City. Yeah, you see him come across and make contact there, and our instant replay. 3rd down and 5 here for the Red Hawks. Anderson out of the shotgun. Montana Tech showing blitz. Here it comes. Anderson in trouble, floats it downfield, almost intercepted. That's going to bring up 4th down here for Simpson University.
Yeah, Downs was camped on that, just at the under duress. Anderson's under duress. Montana Tech brings heavy pressure, untouched. He's got to get rid of that football.
7:36 left to play here in this first half. And the special teams unit, the return guys are in here for the digs. Levi Torgerson back to return. He's taken one to the house already today. Montana Tech has run 21 offensive plays for 226 yards. Simpson 23 offensive plays for 16 yards. Good punt. Torgerson does not call for a fair catch, and he'll spin his way out to the 26-yard line.
Heady play, yeah, like I said earlier, this guy wants the ball in his hand, and he wants to score touchdowns.
100%. 7:26 left to play here in the first half. Let's see who comes out of the huddle here for the digs. So Montana Tech back at home next week, as on Saturday, the Battling Bears of Rocky Mountain College will make their way here.
There's 2 fouls. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 27 on the kicking team. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 3 of the receiving team. Those penalties offset. 1st down.
Okay.
Unsportsman, offsetting unsportsmanlike
for both players.
Penalties, you know, that's the only problem there is the next one, they're out of the game, correct?
Yep. Western leading Rocky 14-10. Southerns at Arizona Christian later on this evening.
We're waiting for it to get down to 105 degrees.
1st and 10 for the Digs. Looks like Thielen at quarterback. And going in motion. We're going to get whistles and a flag.
False start. Number 57 on the offense.
A false starts against the Digs.
1st down.
So some penalties here against Montana Tech. That's their 5th flag of the day. That's going to be a loss of 5. Bring up 1st and 15 here for Montana Tech.
Tierney got started a little early.
Tierney, the freshman out of Butte, Montana. 1st and 15 here for the Digs. Blake Thielen, who is 6 of 8 for 102 yards and 4 scores. Out of the shotgun, handoff going to go up the middle, and that is a Renner, it looks like.
I think it's Vetter, actually.
Is it? Okay. Yep, you're right. Christian Vetter at tailback. He'll pound it ahead for a gain of 1. So Christian Vetter.
Lander Smith had seen enough. He was on his way out onto the field, but got called back.
Vetter, the junior out of Butte High School, played for Ari Gray and company up to the Bulldog land. 2nd and 9. 1 back, 2 receivers left, tight to the line of scrimmage. Wyatt Alexander split wide right. Michelotti in motion. They're going to fake a deep pitch. Now we're on the inside shovel. Going to go inside. Torgerson. Torgerson at the 40. Torgerson's going to take it to the house. Levi Torgerson, his 3rd touchdown of the day, as he is going to go for 60-plus yards. Levi Torgerson's 3rd score. He has 1 receiving, 1 rushing, and 1 coming on a kickoff return.
Yeah, nice play. We've seen that a couple times out of him. That's just a shovel pass.
Yep.
You used to see that back in the Alex Smith days at Utah. They show a little option to the perimeter, the wide side, but they run the underneath guy there. And Torgerson, you know, he was patient there, made a nice cut, almost had to come to a stop. But he was patient, got a cut back, and it was off to the races. Levi Torgerson.
Snap a little low. They're able to dig it out. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Montana Tech leads 57-0. 6:29 left to play here in the first half. Frontier Conference football on a Saturday afternoon. As we mentioned, Simpson University playing 6 schools from the Frontier this year. They have a 10-game schedule, 6 of those against the Frontier. Next year, they will join as a full Frontier Conference member, along with the schools in Dakota and beyond. Our landscape in the Frontier is going to change dramatically next year.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. So, where will Montana Tech be? East or west?
From my understanding, I think as of right now, it's east. So again, don't quote me, but I believe what we're going to see is you're going to see Montana Tech, Carroll College, and Western going to remain the schools in the middle. So Montana Tech will play 2 years in the east, then it will rotate, and Carroll will go to the east, and Tech will go to the west, since we're the 3 most local or centered schools out of all of them. But I do believe, and I don't know if it's official, but I do believe Montana Tech will start in the east. We'll know certainly when they release those schedules. I'll tell you, the ADs and staffs of all the schools have worked awfully hard with our commissioner, Dr. Crawford, to get the schedules made and ready to go. Kickoff is going to be returnable. Nice catch, actually, at the 3-yard line. Return here on the near side, out to the 14-yard line and no more. With the return that time was Carson Bennett. Bennett is on paper as a quarterback, returning that one for Simpson.
Start to see, well, Wickham's back in the game at outside linebacker. They just must have wanted to give Kovic a series there. But, yeah, still got all your starters here on defense. You got Downs at left corner and McNeil and Jace Thompson at safeties. Now we're starting to see a young quarterback warm up down here. Both Wyant and
Wilson.
playing catch with, what's Wilson's first name? Jace? Jarrett. Thank you.
The voice over our shoulder. Dropping back, Anderson. And that time looking across the middle for Joel Gomez. And a hit right as the ball is delivered, falls incomplete. 6:20 left to play here in this first half. Montana Tech leading 57-0. Hall of Fame weekend. We had a gathering with a chunk of people last night.
Have about a couple dozen Hall of Famers out of this game.
No joke. 57-0, the Digs with the lead. Right now, Simpson has run 24 offensive plays for 16 yards. Out of the shotgun, Anderson. Man in motion, goes behind them all. He's going to swing it out on the screen. It's tipped, and it falls incomplete.
They whistle that. Ooh. They whistle that ball incomplete, but I'm not so sure that that wasn't backwards. I'd like to look at that one again, but neither here nor there.
Here we go, Jason. Thanks, Jason. We'll take a look. So he's throwing that 1 yard behind.
Yeah, I guess it's pretty lateral.
Actually, might
right
even be a little
line.
forward. Thanks, Jason. Our replay crew. 3rd down and 10.
Beller getting a series at inside linebacker here.
1 back, 3 receivers. Montana Tech brings 4 up to the line of scrimmage, showing blitz from the top. Now they show blitz from everybody. Anderson dropping back, pressure coming, and that's going to be incomplete.
Good throwaway.
That's going to go to 4th down here for Simpson. 6:12 left to play in the first half. Carroll leading Southern Oregon 17-3.
Wow. Regardless of what you think of Carroll, you know, Tech got them to start the season. But Carroll defensively is a good football team.
Agreed.
They are tough to score on.
4th down and 10 here for Simpson. And Montana Tech has Levi Torgerson back. We're going to need somebody to come in here and do Levi Torgerson's full yardage for the day at halftime.
Somebody out of the math department.
Yeah, I certainly am not going to try. So the return will start at the 39-yard line. Torgerson goes left. Finds a little daylight across the 50, 45, and out of bounds at the 43-yard line. Montana Tech 1st and 10 from the Red Hawk 43. 5:58 left to play here in this second quarter. And like we said, Cade Wyatt was warming up here on the near side. We've already seen him throw some around here. We'll see. I would assume we'll probably see him at quarterback, and that is the case. So Cade Wyatt out of Rockland, California, will bring him out.
Renner in there. Offensive front. Paul Moosall. Pierce in there at tight end. Some youth in here. Looks like, is that Cole Worley at the inside slot? I know they were excited maybe to get a look at him.
That's
there
Cole.
you go.
So Cole goes in motion. Worley goes wide left. Out of the shotgun, Wyatt fakes the handoff, rolling right. Back pass, and that one across the middle. Boy, I thought he was looking to the backside over there as he was wide open. Tried to lay it across for Worley. That one falls incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10 here for the Digs.
Worley's pretty well covered there. That would catch. That's a tough catch. He has to go into a slide and catch out on his back shoulder. But any receiver on a college football campus will tell you that they should have caught that ball. And Cole come back and tell you he should have caught that ball. But, yeah, I mean, hasn't had a lot of looks here in this receiving core this year. So we'll see as the game progresses if Cole gets a little more comfortable in there because he can flat scoot.
2nd and 10 here for the Digs. Out of the shotgun, Wyatt looks to coaches to change the play. He and, of course, his twin brother here at Montana Tech. Handoff is going to go to the tailback, right up the middle, across the 35, down to the 34-yard line, as in at tailback is Renner. So Renner will get the carry. That's going to be a gain of 7.
Kind of no man's land here. Certainly looking at 4-down territory should they not get this on 3rd down. You know, something, you may want your field goal team to take a look at a long field goal for a young kicker to get a little confidence here, but I'd expect this ball to go in Renner's belly 2 times in a row, 1 or 2 times in a row here.
Let me grab this from you. That right there, brother. 3rd down and 3. Renner gets the handoff again, makes a nice little move, and he'll pound down to the 26-yard line.
Caden Cross in there in that offensive front. Yeah, starting to see some real youth in here. Jacob Graves, this is good stuff. Get that young offensive front some.
So 1st and 10, down to the 26-yard line. Renner in at tailback. And again, Cade Wyatt at quarterback. 1 receiver left, 2 to the right. Wait, Simpson, 5 guys on the defensive front. Wyatt looking for the deep ball right side. He has a man just over his outstretched fingertips, incomplete.
Pretty good spot there. Just barely missed Dylan Snyder on the go route there, but a nice looking throw by Wyatt.
You know, this is going to be fun for us because there are so many of these guys that, you know, we just love from a perspective of being around them and part of the team and everything else. And, you know, the ability to see him like Cade Wyatt out here taking a lot of snaps just makes me incredibly happy.
Yeah. Yeah, they given a lot of his body, effort, time to this program over the last 5 years and get some quality snaps here.
Cade has time, dropping back, rolling to his right. Downfield, has his man inside the 20, out of bounds at the 17-yard line.
Good job of mirroring his quarterback, Dylan Snyder, crossing the entire football field. And Wyatt, I'm not saying a KYP ball, Snyder can catch anything, but he just put some touch on that and let Snyder run it down.
So Snyder gets the catch. Good to see him back on the field. He had been out for a couple weeks.
We got a flag here?
Yeah, it's certainly looking that way. See what we get from our official. Offensive pass interference.
Oh.
So an offensive pass interference going to back it up.
That was pass interference on the offense on 88.
Called it on
Pierce,
the tight end, Pierce.
15-yard penalty, 2nd down.
So that one will come back to the 41-yard line.
2nd a mile here.
Yeah. So 2nd down and long.
And they go kind of heavy here. They go kind of heavy. They got kind of bunched up. Kiergan and the tight end Pierce here to the wing set side, to the wide side, and a couple wideouts bunched up on the left side.
Renner in the backfield, and he will get the rock. Renner finds a gap. He's across the 35, inside the 30 to the 27-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 12, getting a bunch of the yardage back. Going to bring up 3rd down and 12 here for the Orediggers.
They got half of it back.
Making our way towards halftime. Coming up at the half, we will talk about our class that went into the Hall of Fame last night. I expected last night was going to be a lot of fun, but I think I had more fun than I would have ever expected. Just a tremendous night. We had a packed country club.
Really enjoyed that. That was a good night. Got to see a lot of good old buddies from 35, 40 years ago.
3rd down and 12. Man in motion. Dropping back. Wyant steps up. Wyant, he's going to run with it. Wyant has some room. Switches hands across the 20. Runs through a defender down to the 14-yard line. Wyant was looking for contact.
Thought he spotted his twin, lowered his shoulder, and went for it.
Oh, man. The Twins out of Rockland, California. They're in the same degree program. And when we, you do the fall grades and everything else, they had the exact same GPA. How does that even happen? 1st down and 10. Montana Tech at the 15-yard line. And it's a very good GPA, too, I might add.
What was the GPA?
I want to say it's like 3.61, something like that. 1st and 10 inside the Case IH red zone. Handoff going to go to Renner. Renner puts his head down, pushes the pile to the 12. So good to see Renner taking some snaps and rolling here. Over 30 yards rushing for him today. Montana Tech 153 yards on the ground here in the first half.
Kerrigan getting a lot of snaps here at fullback in this game. Just a good athlete, good player out of Sentinel.
Boy, he was on those teams. They were dominant. They were so tough. And it looks like we're going to get a 2-minute timeout, ladies and gentlemen. 2 minutes left to play here in the first half. With the timeout, we'll take one. We're back here with Digger Vision right after this.
It's important for Butte Auto to partner with community partners such as Montana Tech Athletics because of the commonalities of goals that we have for the Butte community. With Tech Athletics, we look at it as a way to not only provide great things for the community, whether that's attending football games, volleyball games, basketball games. It also helps Tech Athletics to have further outreach, to bring in more athletes, more students, and really add to the diversity of Butte. Butte Auto and Montana Tech Athletics. We're going to do great things together.
Back here once again to alumni as the teams come back out on the field here after our 2-minute timeout. 2nd down and 7 for the Digs inside the Case IH red zone at the 13-yard line. Wyant fakes the handoff. He's going to roll right. Airs it up downfield. Has a man wide open. Just can't hold onto it. As through Dylan Snyder's hands, it'll fall incomplete. And that will bring up a 2nd down, or rather 3rd down here for the Digs.
What'd I miss?
Just a touchdown that went through the hands of Dylan Snyder, unable to bring it in.
Sorry about that.
Good throw. Hit him right in the hands and just unable to reel it in. That'll bring up 3rd down here for the Digs.
Let's test a younger quarterback or a backup quarterback. 3rd and medium yardage. 4 quicks in the game, so they're going to looks to me like they're going to let Wyant sit back and read one and get an open receiver.
4 guys in the route. Into the end zone, double coverage. Pass is up and over, incomplete. So that'll bring up 4th down here for the Digs.
You should see the field goal kicker here, I would think. There's a lot of things you can work on in a game like this.
1:51 left to play in the first half. Kicking unit does come in. So they'll set it up here. Ball line of scrimmage is the 13, so they'll put it down right at the 20, it looks like. They're down a man.
Somebody didn't get the cue.
Races in. 4th down and a field goal attempt. Center of the field at the 20-yard line. A 30-yard attempt here for the Ore Diggers. Snap and hold are good. The kick is up. Plenty of leg. And it cuts through as well. 60-0. Montana Tech up over Simpson University. The Digs 349 yards of offense here in the first half. And a big cushion here as we make our way towards the break. Coming up at the half, we will talk about our Hall of Fame class.
See if we start to see some younger return guys here as well. We've seen Torgerson get the lion's share of punt and kick returns thus far today, but I would think, his day could be done.
Yeah.
Doesn't, excuse me. I guess we're kicking off, aren't we? Let's not make it take it, is it?
That would change the game as we know it pretty heavily.
What a dope.
Trying to see if I can find total yardage here for Mr. Levi Torgerson. It does not look like it wants to let me. 60-0, 151 left to play here in this first half. Montana Tech kicking off to the Red Hawks. Red Hawks have run 26 offensive plays for 16 yards. Montana Tech 32 offensive plays for 349. A lot of people already making their way back to the tailgate. And the kickoff is away. End over end, drifting right, bounces 1 yard deep and bounces out of bounds. So a touchback here. And Simpson will bring it out to the 25-yard line. So Simpson University, 10-game schedule here, their first year of football.
At the same time, Simpson may want to take opportunities to look at other personnel in, in their respective offenses and defenses as well.
Yeah, it's certainly not a one-sided coin for that. I mean, you're a new program. You've obviously got guys deep. See what happens. So at quarterback, Caleb Anderson, the redshirt freshman out of American Canyon High School in California, brings his boys out. Two receivers right, one to the left. Montana Tech four-man front. Handoff going to the tailback. Trying to find the edge and just not going to get there. Micah Kindle will get taken down. They'll give him forward progress just across the 20.
Yeah, on that time, Oakes does a nice job of disengaging, waiting for the bounce out and gets it, and then Beller comes up from inside linebacker to polish off the runner. But, yeah, that's just good, sound, fundamental football.
2nd and 14 here for the Red Hawks. Clock ticking. 1:17 left to play in the first half. Anderson, three receivers. It's kind of the formation we've seen out of them a lot here today. Tech showing pressure and in trouble. Anderson, the running back went to the left. Anderson turned to hand off to the right. Blown up.
Play action's tough when there's no action to play to.
Matt Whitcomb, I believe, will get credit for the sack. As no one home, that's going to bring up 3rd down and long here for Simpson.
Take time out to say hello to the Starkle family down there in Boise. Thank you for the kind words, Ty. Hope all is well. Hope to see you at a game or two down the stretch here.
3rd down and long. 3rd and 18 here for Simpson. It's like Tech going to present a four-man front. They're set. Three receivers right, one to the left. Anderson going to keep it himself. Anderson tries to turn the corner, and he goes nowhere. He's going to lose 4 as Montana Tech will get to him in the backfield.
It's DeVos getting upfield and getting into Anderson's legs, tripped him up just enough to bring him to the ground.
So that'll bring up 4th down here for Simpson.
Half
and
time.
That's going to do it for the first half. We get to zeros. 30 minutes into this ball game, Montana Tech leading 60-0. The Digs up over the Red Hawks of Simpson University. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk about Hall of Famers and more after this.
Start game clock, please.
Hey, Dave Brennan here with Case IH. One of the new options for model year 2024 is going to be an open spoke gauge wheel. That open spoke gauge wheel is going to be available on all 2000 series planters. That's going to help those growers in adverse conditions where they're muddy or high residue conditions minimize that plugging in and around that gauge wheel area. For more information on this new offering of open spoke gauge wheels, visit your local Case IH dealer.
Hey, welcome back here once again to the campus of Montana Tech as we have our Hall of Famers on the field. Ron Haskett, Roderick Hurd is our first here on the left. They have Katie Daly. We're going to catch up. Katie Daly, of course, dominated in the middle block for Montana Tech and was just it was a machine from 2006 to 2010. She finished her career with 1,143 kills, averaging 2.8 a set. She hit 271 lifetime. She had, what are we looking at here? 1,143 kills, 507 total blocks. And Katie Daly went into the Hall of Fame last night.
Nice night, yeah.
Lorenzo Snyder, you put him into the Hall of Fame. Talk about Zoe.
Oh, just like I said last night, just about one of the most tremendous athletes I ever saw on this field. He could do it all. I mean, you see a lot of them on this field here today, but he could run, he could jump, he could catch. He had tremendous body control, tremendous hip movement, and he could run away from anybody. Caught everything, shared the football field with another Hall of Famer in Davis Almanza, and you go back to their senior years in 1997, both had 10 touchdowns. Both had over 1,000 yards. Both had north of 60 catches. I mean, it was a lot of fun. And Mark Jensen, hopefully Mark Jensen's listening right now. He had a field day, because Jensen was a load. And I was thinking this morning that those two teams offensively were so good. Yeah. It was still hard for somebody to stick out because we were really good at quarterback, of course, good at wide out, tight end, two great running backs, Turner, Watson, and then a defense that was lights out as well. So, yeah, great kid.
Coach Connors is our next. He coached the Digs from 78 to 80. He won the Frontier Conference in his second year. They ended that year with a 46-8 win over Eastern Washington, who was then a Division II independent. Coach Connor really did a phenomenal job at Montana Tech. And he was part of our ceremony last night. He's going into the Hall of Fame, joining that 79 team who is in the Orediger Hall of Fame and the Butte Sports Hall of Fame, and now Coach going in on his own merits.
Did a nice job last night listening to Coach Connor talk about the good old days with Jimmy Patelis and a few of his ex-players. A fantastic night.
The 87-88 men's basketball team is next. Frontier Conference regular season and tournament champions. They were coached by Frontier Conference Coach of the Year, Rick Disick. The team went 13-3 in Frontier Conference play. They won the regular season crown. Then they just flat rolled through the Frontier tournament, taking down the Lights in the championship game played here in the Mining City. They took down South Dakota Tech in the semifinals of the District 12 tournament before they fell to Huron in the final. Sherman Vernon, Scott Razor, both named first team All-Conference as well as honorable mention All-American. They finished that season with 20 wins. And just a tremendous group of guys, 87-88 men's basketball
An individual Hall of Famer on that team as well as Sherman Vernon, good old Sweet V. It was nice to see him last night. A lot of these guys, I mean, these were all guys that are essentially my age, right? So I remember them from back in the day. Scott Razor lived next to me in Prospector Hall and played a lot of basketball with these guys. Rich Kramer, Dave Carson, he was on our defensive front that year as well. He played defensive tackle for a really good Ordigger team in that fall of 1988. We were 7-3, so that was a good bunch. And Coach Rick, of course, Coach Rick Dessing and Rod Persino and local product, Butte High, Keith Holler. I hadn't seen Keith in a lot of years. Coach Tom Berg, who was Dessing's assistant and the head coach of the 1992 state champion Butte Central Maroons. Jeff Kanish, used to play Phase 10 with Jeff Kanish 5 days a week. He lived right above me over on Clark Street. Yeah, it's great to see these guys.
Dennis Zander, the last being introduced, and he is in as a contributor. And that's a no-brainer, an absolute no-brainer what Zander does for Montana Tech. He has been a staple at the Digger auction for years. He's even more of a staple in the tailgate every darn year. He always shows up with one-of-a-kind items for the auction. On top of that, his bid paddle spends more time in the air than it does on the table. Dennis has fed almost every team as they pass through Glendive on their way to compete in the east of Montana. Speaking of eating, the Zander Zone has been an anchor again in the tailgate. Dennis Zander is just one of the absolute best humans in the world, and I loved that he is going in as a contributor.
Speaking of standing dates, that is a standing date generally on Wednesday night at the Vuvilla Bar with Zander and Jack Kanaw and the group. $2 pitcher night. Who could forget it? I remember how mad we were at Charlie Delaney when he jacked those pitchers up to $2.50.
Well, let's go back to Rod Hurd a little bit. We raced through and we're unable to talk about Rod Hurd. Rod played 2 seasons for Coach Dessing in the Digs. In those 2 years, he was just nothing short of spectacular. In his first year, he scored 603 points, which was 4th all-time at Montana Tech. That season, he was selected first-team all-conference as well as all-American honorable mention. The next year, he repeated those accomplishments, earning first-team all-conference and again being selected honorable mention all-American. Just as good as they get.
You know what was baffling me last night looking at his stats 603 points scored in that one season, and then they're talking about him kind of mimicking that the next season, but his total points were only in the mid-800s, and I was trying to do the math on all that, and I'm going, what's going on?
3 semesters.
Yeah, and so when they talked about how they finagled the rest of his eligibility, it was a great story.
It really was. And it was one I was glad to learn as well, because I had heard the 3 semester, but then you go back to Grambling, and to get the full story of it was pretty darn special last night.
Yeah, it was good. Good he got to jump in with fellow teammate, big old Brian Watson, who was on a couple of Rod Hurd's teams and already a Hall of Famer, I believe, right?
Indeed.
Yeah, so it was nice. Another member of that team jumps into the Hall. Roderick Hurd, it was nice to listen to the coaches talk about his game last night, right? And how tough he was on that block at 6'3".
We are at the half. Montana Tech leading 60-0 over Simpson University. We're here on Digger Vision. We'll take a break, pay some bills. We're back here to Bob Green after this.
Hi, I'm Dr. Brian Mark, orthopedic surgeon, specializing in sports medicine here in Butte, Montana. As an athlete, I think it's important to see a sports medicine specialist, as we have a different skill set than your general orthopedist in terms of restoring anatomy and restoring function in an athlete. One of the most kind of rewarding things being here in Butte is being the team doctor for Montana Tech, Western, as well as the local high schools and middle schools here in town. It's very rewarding working with the young athletes.
Trident 5550, the Case IH Combination Application System Solution. A couple of key points for model year 2024 are going to be the addition of a 135-foot spray boom for that enhanced productivity, and then Aim Command Flex 2, the ultimate in advanced spray technology, individual on-off nozzle control, a host of other features, making the most of your product application. To learn more, visit your Case IH distributor or caseih.com.
Hey, we are back here once again at the campus of Montana Tech Alumni Coliseum. Montana Tech leading 60-0. Thanks for joining us here on a Saturday afternoon. I have to say thanks again to my crew. My crew has worked so hard. They're so dedicated to this. Barrett is running our cameras and, running what we call the TriCaster. I don't know what that means. It's very smart. But he is controlling all of our graphics. Jason Copen is our replay guy. He is fantastic. Pat's helping out in there. That group is so passionate about this and having so much fun. The environment, like working with those guys, I can't even tell you how enjoyable it is with how animated everybody gets and wants to make our streams better. And we have taken huge strides.
Yeah, it's come a long way. We're really getting a lot of good feedback out there with people tuning in and viewing Ordigger action on a week-to-week basis.
Well, we are at the half here. Obviously, all Montana Tech right now, 60-0 our score. Do we want to run through numbers and then we talk about second half possibly?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start things off. We'll start it off with the Redhawks as of right now. They have run 29 plays for a total of 4 positive yards so far in the first half of play. Anderson is 3 of 12 throwing the football for 3 positive yards. He's been sacked twice. On the ground, Kindle has 9 carries for 33 yards. And actually, the net comes down to 17 yards for Kindle. So he has been taken down behind the line of scrimmage quite a bit here today. So 17 total rushing yards for Kindle. I think he has run the ball awfully well. Receiving, Thomas has 1 catch for 6 yards. Gomez Jr. 1 for 1. And Ramirez 1 catch for -4 yards. As we take a look here, Simpson is 1 of 9 on 3rd downs so far today, and they have 3 first downs in the first half. On the other side for Montana Tech, 32 offensive plays for 349 yards. The Digs have 15 first downs here today. Blake Thielen is 7 of 9 for 174 yards and 5 touchdowns today. With him throwing the football is Cade Wyatt. Cade's 1 of 5, 23 yards so far for Cade. On the ground, 6 different guys have packed the rock this far. Lander Smith, 7 carries for 59 yards, 2 scores. Ethan Renner, 4 carries for 32. Cade Wyatt, 4 carries for 30. Torgerson, 1 for 18. Thielen has 1 carry for 7, and Christian Vetter, 1 carry for 6 yards. Receiving, Torgerson has 3 catches for 113 yards.
Pretty efficient.
Yeah, that's a good day. 3 catches for 113, 2 touchdowns on the day. Receiving, he has 1 rushing, and he has 1 on a kickoff return.
I think 2 of those catches are push passes, weren't they?
Yes, indeed. And I think that's what that one goes into the book. He doesn't have 1. Yeah, so it is a push. So 2 touchdowns for Torgy there. Wyatt Alexander, 3 catches for 57 and a pair of scores. Michelati, 1 catch for 23. And Kennedy, 1 catch for 4 yards here on the day. The Digs are 5 of 6 on 3rd down today. Again, 32 offensive plays, 349 yards for Montana Tech in this first half.
Yeah, what can you say? I mean, if you're Simpson, you come out of the locker room. You want, again, small goals. You want to force Montana Tech to a 3-and-out defensively, or force a punt. Force Montana Tech to have to turn the ball over on downs. And then offensively, you just want to move the sticks. You want to keep your defense off the field. And, you go out. I think you realize you're going to start seeing some younger guys from Montana Tech. So what's that mean? You got maybe a better chance to win that 3rd quarter. Go win it, even if it's 3-0 or 7-0. But go try and win a quarter here again, and just start small and try to just improve. I mean, it's tough to improve on a day like today, but you can do it if you just stick to the fundamentals and the basics and know and to do what you like to do.
Well, as we make our way up toward the second half, you can see the ticker up top as far as the other scores. Western leading Rocky 14-10. Southern Arizona Christian coming up a little bit later on this evening as well. So Montana Tech leading 60-0 here, 30 minutes into this football game. Montana Tech is hosting Rocky Mountain College next week. They'll go on the road to Arizona Christian the week after, and then they're home for Northern, followed up by Carroll College, and that's our regular season. And again, Tech looking awfully good moving forward. They are number 15 in the current poll. Remember, top 20. I shouldn't say top 20, but 20 schools go into the playoffs. Montana Tech certainly controls their own destiny, and right now their destiny looks awfully bright when you start looking at that playoff picture.
Sure, and you got to keep things clean here today. try and keep a lot of healthy bodies. I mean, I'm looking up here at the ticker. Carroll's up still in the third quarter, 17-3 over Southern Oregon. So, you know, if you're Montana Tech, you want to improve knowing that a lot of these upcoming opponents are probably improving as well.
Yep.
So you got to maintain that pace.
Well, we're at the half, ladies and gentlemen. Montana Tech leading 60-0. Let's take a break, pay some bills. We're back here to Alumni on Digger Vision after this.
Now's the time to get into Butte Auto and custom build your own ride just the way you want it. Choose from 9 brands and compare them all at one location. Don't wait. Take advantage of our VIP appointment or stay where you are and shop easily from ButteAuto.com. At Butte Auto, we believe in exceptional service and an easy buying process. Easy buying process. Contact one of our 4 dealerships and custom build your next ride at Butte Auto today.
Hey, we're back here once again. Montana Tech, we're at Alumni Coliseum. Team's back out. The Dig's up 60-0. And we are getting ready for the second half here in the mining city. A little sunshine, little wind, but as we mentioned, pretty lucky. Nice day here in the mining city today.
Yeah, we'd be curious to see what Simpson comes out and tries to do against this defense. I'm assuming they're going to be seeing some youth on both sides of the ball here for this entire second half. But again, with the goal of winning a series, winning a quarter, that's the small goals you got to make.
Well, as we get ready for the kickoff here, Montana Tech will kick off. And Simpson's offense will start things off here. And like I say, small victories. You're looking for small victories. You want to move the chains and then move the chains again.
My wife's listening.
I love that she's as much of a coach as you are.
Yes.
Hi, Deed. So the Dig's ready to kick off here. Again, thanks for joining us here on Digger Vision. We have a great stretch of home games, 4 of our final 5 games at home. And Montana Tech ready to kick off here. End over end, this one is going to come up shy. Return starts at the 3. Return across the 15, 20, out to the 21 and no further.
I'd say that was pretty intentional, too. A kick short. Because, again, you got to work on a lot of stuff. Kickoff cover hasn't got much work today. Oh, they got a lot of kickoffs, don't get me wrong. A lot of kicks into the end zone, touchbacks. But you want to work on, those lane assignments as you cover a kick. Are you containing the football? Are your bullets getting to the football? All that kind of neat special team stuff.
So out they come here in the second half. Anderson at quarterback here for the Red Hawks.
I got to run plyometrics the last 3 or 4 years of my coaching career. That was a lot more fun than running special teams.
That's a big word. 1st and 10 here for Simpson University. Anderson's going to keep it himself. Bounces it out right, and he's across the 20 out to the 23-yard line. Positive yards for Caleb Anderson, again, a redshirt freshman out of California.
A couple ore diggers on the sideline, tapping Caleb on the hat, 5-yard gain.
Yep.
Nice play, young man. Or, 4-yard gain, but nonetheless, it was a gain.
2nd and 6. 2 receivers right for Anderson, 1 left. Montana Tech, 4 guys on the defensive front. Showing blitz. And the handoff to the tailback. He'll get across the line of scrimmage. He'll get a positive yard. And not much more there as that Digger D was able to get in, trip him up.
Yeah, that time getting in. Is that Kovic again? He's been playing some good football. When he has to come in, now he's getting serious minutes here at outside linebacker. They sent him on it. Oh, no, excuse me.
Seawald.
Yeah, well, I think it was, no, forget it. I'm tired of trying to read these white wrapped orange numbers on these black uniforms. It's hard.
3rd down and 6. 2 receivers on the right, 1 to the left for Anderson. They were 1 of 5 on 3rd down in the first half. Anderson rolls out of the pocket right, looking downfield, hits his man, but I do believe short of the first down. I want to say they're going to mark him at about the 29.
Yeah, he'll be a couple yards short. Good job of getting up there out of coverage by Tell Arthur at inside linebacker, coming up and containing the quarterback, forcing that throw. And the throw is short. You get a 4th and 2. It looks like they're going to kick it away, and Torgerson will get another shot here.
4th down and 2 here as Simpson ready to kick it away. Again, Simpson joining us in the Frontier Conference as a full football member as of next year. More weight over on the West Coast. Long snap count. It's short. Goes through the punter's legs. He kicks a foot, and then he'll put it out of the back of the end zone.
Smart play.
Very smart play. So it went through his legs. He tried to take a kick at it once and then was able to contact and push it out the back of the end zone. So it should be a safety.
We're a punt return and a defensive scoop and score return away from scoring about every way you can in a football game here.
Side judge.
Illegal kicking on the kicking team, number 47. Result of play is safety. 2 points, Montana Tech.
All right, so the safety. And Montana Tech will get the football here. Let's take a look at this here on our Case Construction instant replay right through his hands, right through his feet. And really heads-up play. Montana Tech had two guys all over him, and he knocks it out of the back of the end zone.
Just a low snap. He tried to field it on the short hop, was unable to field it cleanly. And a good heads-up play. You know, obviously they work on special teams, that situation, and this kind of score, you don't want to give Montana Tech the football at the 15-yard line. So kicks it through the end zone. Now they'll kick it back to Montana Tech.
So the digs.
Couple new returners. Looks like Christian Vetter is going to go back there with Renner on this kick return.
Okay. A few more bodies here as we make our way through the second half. We have a wee little stream of people coming back from the tailgate, but not many.
Yeah, I think a lot of people might have punched it at halftime.
There's a lot of awful good food out there. So they will punt it here. End over end kick. Should get a good return. Actually takes a big bounce, runs past Renner. Renner picks it up at the 13-yard line, makes his move. He's across the 15, out across the 20, and that's where he'll get tagged and knocked down. So with the tackle is David Burns, a freshman linebacker.
Yeah, that ball should have been fielded. Again, Renner just misplayed it, let it short hop, and got past him.
So Montana Tech's offense.
See what we get at quarterback here.
And it will still be Wyant. So Cade Wyant will lead him at quarterback. The senior. He was 1 of 5 for 23 yards throwing the football. On the ground, he had 4 carries for 30 yards.
You got Kerrigan in the backfield with, is that Renner or Vetter? Looks like Vetter.
It looks like Vetter. And he'll get the rock. Vetter has a blocker in Kerrigan. Stiff arm, Vetter out to the sideline. Vetter, another nice block, and he'll get shoved out of bounds out near midfield. A flag down, way downfield.
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to get a downfield hold here. That's about all it could be on a running play.
26-yard gain on the ground. And we'll see what we get from our officials here.
Looks to me like it will still result in a first down. It was 10 yards.
Number 82 on the offense.
Yeah. Yep.
10-yard penalty, still first down.
So the downfield hold, as you mentioned, will still be enough for the first down. So there's the hold.
And it still would have been first down, right?
Yep.
The difference between 1st and 10, 1st and 1, 1st and 2.
1st and 10. Handoff is going to go Christian Vetter. Vetter, good cutback. He's at the 40, 45, 50. Vetter down the field, and he'll be hauled down at the 40-yard line of Simpson University.
Did a good job at the end of that tackle of holding on to the football. Yeah. He gets caught from behind after he has to slow down here. And again, that was it looked like Jonathan Scott came up and raked at that football. You'll see that ball get coughed up a lot, that rip from behind.
Take a look at this. Boy, great footwork by Vetter. So back to the line of scrimmage comes Montana Tech. Man in motion, split backs. Handoff going to go to Vetter again. Kerrigan out in front. And Vetter will push the pile for a gain of 4. Christian Vetter.
Couple late flags here. You know, Montana Tech has run probably the stretch play or the toss more than I've seen them all year, and only been subject to 1 or 2 holding penalties. Yeah. You know, you always hear me talk about running the perimeter, how you expose yourself to holding penalties, but Montana Tech on that part of their running game today has really executed well and blocked cleanly.
And they've been able to get bodies out in front of the runners. We've seen offensive linemen leading the charge. We've seen fullbacks.
We have 2 fouls on the play. We have dead ball, unsportsmanlike on the offense. Number 63, unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense. Number 31, that is the first unsportsmanlike conduct penalty for both those players. Second down.
Yeah,
so unsportsmanlike.
Yeah, we've seen a few unsportsmanlikes today, and I think in both cases they were both offsetting one on each team.
Yep.
Which means it tells me they're not only seeing the second guy to the party, they're seeing the first guy to the party.
Truly,
right?
yeah. 2nd down and 7. This crew certainly feels like they've been on top of everything today. 10:55 left to play here in the 3rd quarter. Montana Tech looking at 2nd and 7 from the Simpson 37-yard line. The officials.
See if we don't see a little zone action, maybe a quarterback read and keep here. Haven't seen Wyatt pull the ball and run it here in a few snaps.
So Wyatt out of the shotgun. 2nd down and 7. Vetter in the backfield with him. 2 receivers tight on each side of the formation. Pressure coming, and he is going to go. Busts up the middle, gets past the linebacker on spy. He's down to the 25-yard line. You saw that middle linebacker step up as he was on spy on quarterback, and Cade is able to get past him and move the chains for Montana Tech. Another TDS first down here for the Digs.
Yeah, they were trying to sting a corner route there, but covered well by Simpson. Also in the game for the Montana Tech Orediggers, number 86, Carson Anderson, a sophomore wide receiver, getting some snaps. Along with Zalewski, number 82, Caden.
Boy, he had a phenomenal career at Florence. Hand off to Vetter. Vetter has a gap. Vetter is going to take it to the house. Vetter gets tackled from behind, but not before he gets into the end zone. Christian Vetter from 27 yards out, and he just totally lost his balance the last 10 yards of it.
You have to feel great for Christian Vetter. There's another guy that's been riddled with injuries going back to his senior year, right, at Butte High?
Yep.
Knee injuries and just bad luck stuff. Tough kid. I mean, you literally got to tear him off the football field, and to see him healthy in the backfield and get an opportunity to see green grass and score a big touchdown.
68-0. Montana Tech with the lead over Simpson. And the kicking unit looking to add 1, and they do so. Montana Tech with the lead, 69-0. Over the Red Hawks of Simpson University. We're here on Digger Vision. Thanks for joining us on a Saturday afternoon. A gorgeous day here in the mining city. A reminder, Montana Tech will be at home next Saturday as the Battling Bears of Rocky Mountain College will be in town. And certainly look forward to that. And that's another one where we talked in our pregame about the conference and the things we find surprising, and Rocky is certainly surprising to both of us.
Yeah.
But that said, I don't care what their record is. You just have to make sure you've got your head screwed on correctly to play the Battling Bears. Right. They're a team that always gets a full head of steam to play Montana Tech and have come in and won some football games on this field.
History of pretty bad blood there, you know, between the two programs. Both have been on top of the world, right? A couple times, going back even to when I was on the staff in the 90s, and there's always been one consistency with Rocky. They're always going to bring 11 guys to the football who are going to get a hat on you. They like to hit, and I don't expect that to change. So, yeah, you just never know. You know, if you're going through some growing pains as a team, and you've heard me say it in the past, you like to see what a team that's struggling in the first half of the season, how do they finish the season? You know, I go back to like when Chuck Morrell's first year here, struggled in the first half of the season, but you go back to that season, I think they either won their last 3 or 3 of their last 4, and then we knew, hey, this staff is legit, and this program's in good shape.
So the Digs ready to kick it off. Montana Tech, 36 offensive plays for 419 yards. Wyatt, 1 of 5 through the air for 23 yards. He also has 5 carries for 41 yards. Christian Vetter now the leading rusher for Montana Tech. 4 carries, 65 yards for Christian Vetter.
I can see Lander Smith tapping his helmet and getting back in the game here.
I don't think he's happy sitting on the sidelines at all.
One thing about that running back room, probably above and beyond all, is they've all got each other's back. They're all each other's biggest fans, and it's always pretty cool to see how excited they get for success on somebody underneath them.
And not only that, this team I feel like is really on that page. You know, there isn't any individualism. Everybody's there for everybody. I think last week it was last week is a great example. Back from Dillon. I actually ran into our quarterback and our tight end, and both of them were like, I mean, that's like the worst game I've ever played. you're like, well, you still had a really good shot against Western, and you move forward, and life is good. You know, I mean, it just they just. Yeah, I mean, they feel it deep.
A lot of youth in this secondary. We see Dylan Product, Justice Peterson. You know, he spent a handful of years, or not a handful, but 3 or 4 years as a backup quarterback here and has moved to safety. Now in the game, getting to play a little safety.
Handoff going to go out on the right side. Ramirez with the carry, and he'll be taken down a yard behind the line of scrimmage.
Been huge in special teams throughout his career. Good kick cover guy, punt cover guy. Also in the game, Trey Vasquez playing one of those safeties. They got a 21 in there, but I know it's not Mario King.
Ian Galbraith is out here on the near side corner.
Oh, there you go. Ian Galbraith, number 17.
Ian out of Idaho Falls. 2nd and 11. Man in motion is the tight end out of the shotgun. One back. Anderson rolls the pocket to his left, looking downfield. Good coverage. Anderson now going to pick it up, and he'll go out of bounds at the line of scrimmage.
Well played that time by Tel Arthur. Now, we haven't seen Arthur playing a ton of middle linebacker here this year, but he got a ton of experience, played a lot of minutes, and started quite a few games last year, the Frenchtown product. But, again, you could see him coming up, even though he's getting some later minutes here in this game. He's obviously been in that situation before, took on the lead blocker, and forced the out-of-bounds run.
3rd down and 11 here for the Simpson Redhawks. Anderson. One back, 4 receivers. 4 defensive linemen up front for Montana Tech. Anderson awaiting the snap. Goes deep into the snap count. Dropping back in trouble. Anderson flushing to his right, looking downfield. Airs it up, and that one will go incomplete as he throws it away.
Yeah, Umali and Alexander on the chase. Ton of young players getting some experience here. Junior D lineman Derek Lying on the chase there as well.
4th and 11 now for Simpson.
So even though you got a lot of number 2s, possibly some number 3s here on this defense, you do got guys that had quality minutes throughout the season. You know, you look at Kovic and you look at Tel Arthur and a few of the guys you see in there in various series from game to game.
End over end kick. Boy, kind of died in the wind. Hop. And Montana Tech will jump on it and take a knee. Levi Torgerson.
I think Levi ran out of gas.
So he goes down at the 34-yard line, and the Ordiger offense will come back out. I'd have to assume we'll probably see Cade Wyant for the rest of the third. Is kind of my thinking, and then we might see the young guys might get a series or 2 each.
Yeah, and then you'd probably be looking at Wilson and Casagrande. Right, here comes Cade again. Yeah, that's a good call.
So Cade Wyant brings him out. Renner is in the backfield with him. 8:02 left to play here in this third quarter. Montana Tech leading 69-0. College of Idaho beat Northern 28-7. Carroll's leading Eastern 17-6. And Western up over Rocky. Out of the shotgun, Wyant hands it off to Renner. Renner turns the corner. Nice stiff arm. He has daylight. Renner at the 50, cuts to his left. He's out across the 40, down to the 37-yard line. Great run by Renner. That'll go for about 27. And another TDS first down here for the Ordigers.
Luke Belau getting some minutes at tight end. Did a little officiating in the basketball season with Luke last year. Good to see him getting some snaps there at tight end, leading the way, getting the corner for Renner there.
Talked to Belau quite a bit this year. He was a lacrosse guy. Significant lacrosse guy. 1st and 10, split backs. Handoff going to go to Renner, left side. Renner, lead blocker. And a good tackle on the far side across the 35 out to the 33-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 5. As stepping up and making the stop defensively is going to be Ben Rosto, Mark Ben Rosto, a redshirt junior out of Modesto.
Be interested to see, getting later in the game where that, beyond that, the first 3 running backs, what's coming next. I can't remember, signees, guys that have remained on the roster. I can't remember what Montana Tech offers in the running back position beyond 3 deep.
Hand off here on the near side, Renner. Good stiff arm again. Renner turns upfield. Boy, he gets hammered, keeps his feet, He'll pick up some positive yards. As the first to make contact was Nicholas Muro, redshirt freshman out of Clovis, California. If I were to ask you to point out Clovis, California on a map, could you do it?
No, I couldn't. I kind of know where Reading is. So.
Okay. All right. Third down and a long one here for the Ordiger offense.
Got a true freshman in here, Cohen Castell. It's the Glacier product. Both his dad, Kyle, or his uncle Kyle, and his dad, Brad, played for me back in the 90s, early 2000s. Good to see Cohen in the game.
And off to Renner. Renner out to the 21-yard line. Great footwork by Renner. His hips are really active. Fresh set of downs here for Montana Tech. Another TDS first down. That's the 20th first down for Montana Tech so far today.
You know, the best thing for these freshmen, I mean, you get into the fourth game, or is it 3 or 4 games that you can play in and still maintain that red shirt? What a great way to get to look at somebody like Cohen Castellitz. There are a lot of people that thought he would be a Big Sky signee.
Agreed.
At receiver. So this was a really good get for Montana Tech.
First down and 10. Out of the shotgun, Wyant hands off to Renner again. Good patience by Renner. He'll pound his way inside the 15 down to the 13. Boy, he was 6 yards downfield before anybody even made contact with him. He'll get an easy 8.
Luke Belau finished off that pancake block about a second or two after Renner went to the ground, but no flag, and Belau's just hungry for some snaps.
2nd and 3 here for the Digs. Cade Wyant, we've only seen him run the ball once so far this third quarter, showing pressure. 2nd and 3. Handoff, fake to Renner. Wyant loops it over the top into the end zone. Touchdown, Montana Tech.
Good clear that time. Out on the edge by Castellitz, I believe it was. And coming in behind him, was that McClintock? No, was that Kiergan caught the ball?
I think it was Kiergan.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Oh, here we go. We can take a look at the replay. Our case construction replay. Clearing out, turning. There you go. Big Kiergan into the end zone. And a score is for Montana Tech, leading 75-0. And the kicking unit is in here for the PAT. Snap and holds are good. The kick is up, and it is through. 76-0. 4:32 left to play here in this third quarter.
And you talk about staying sharp, right? In all facets, special teams, kicking game. 1 PAT or 2-point conversion executed today. All your PATs executed, and the 1 field goal attempt executed.
Look, the love that Charlie Kiergan is getting coming off the field is pretty fantastic. He started getting mobbed about it, the numbers.
You know, your fullbacks generally, maybe behind the equipment manager, are the most loved guys on the team. You know, they really are. And at least in our system, they had to be so intelligent. Our fullbacks, I mean, you go clear back, to Pash and Vincent, and I'm going to miss some names here, Chad Roesti, Mike Ruley. They had to know so much. They had to know all the blocking schemes, pass protections, and it was always fun to watch them work and talk and communicate, and everybody just loves a fullback.
4:32 left to play here in this third quarter. Montana Tech, 42 offensive plays, 485 yards. Simpson, 36 offensive plays for -4 yards so far here in the third quarter.
Yeah, you just want to start making positive gains.
Yep. Like I say, you had 1 first down. Try and string that into a second back-to-back and just gains. Just get better. You join the Frontier Conference, you know you're going to jump into the fire.
It's a shame to see Parker Johnston. He's trying to walk it out there. Yeah. He's just in his shorts and T-shirt now, but trying to walk out that bum leg that he hurt in the first half there. So much heart, such a good team guy. It's just a shame to watch him get injured again.
Steps up next to Lander Smith.
Plus, he dates a Shelby Coyote. You wonder why I like him so much.
I knew there was something else there. I knew there was something else there. Okay. So the Digs ready to kick it off here. 4:32 left to play in the third. Kickoff is away. Line drive lands 8 yards deep. And it goes out the back of the end zone. So a touchback here for the Red Hawks.
Same secondary out here for this Tech defense. Get a look at Sky Stefanik a little more in that defensive front. Made a lot of good plays. Again, another guy that's seen quality minutes, but his playing times fell off here a little bit in this 24 season.
So here comes the offense for the Red Hawks out. Once again, it will be Caleb Anderson at quarterback. He's 4 of 14 for 7 positive yards. And on the ground, 7 carries for -18.
I mean, in all actuality, it's a positive, you know, for the way Montana Tech's been in that backfield, for him just to get the ball off in any passing situation.
First down and 10. Anderson awaiting the snap. Play call down to 2. Anderson hands it off to his tailback, finds a lane. He's out across the 30. And he gets tossed to the ground, but a nice run of 8 that time for Kindle.
Dominic Umile. Is that how you say it? Umile?
I believe Umile.
Oh, Umile. Oh, excuse me. Umile getting down the line of scrimmage from defensive tackle, making the Bulldog tackle to the ground.
2nd and 2 here for Simpson. Wide left is LeBron Thomas. Inside of him is Ramirez. And out of the shotgun, Anderson. One back at home. Tech showing pressure. And they'll bring pressure from 5. Hand off to the tailback, and he'll be gobbled up a yard shy of the first down marker. Brings up 3rd and 1.
Kovic coming in from the edge, getting into the running back and stopping him short of the sticks.
So 3rd and 1 here for the Red Hawks.
Yeah, you'll try and get a stop. I mean, Montana Tech, you may have your 2s and 3s in there, but they want to make a 3rd and short stop. And this is a good opportunity for them to make a play. They got a 94 at deep front, and I don't have him on my roster for Montana Tech.
So the Red Hawks up to the line of scrimmage. They're 1 for 11 on 3rd down so far today. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Montana Tech puts 8 in the box. Hand off to the tailback. And good second effort going to give him the first down.
Took a really good shot there at the line of scrimmage and spun out of it.
Well, yeah, he looked like he was done for, and then just tremendous second effort keeps him charging ahead, moves the chains here for the Red Hawks. First down and 10 here for Simpson University. Ball at their own 36-yard line. Clock running, 2:35 left to play here in this 3rd quarter. The Digs are at home next week, hosting Rocky Mountain College. 3 receivers left here for Anderson. Handoff. They fake it. Quarterback's going to keep it. Good cutback by Anderson. He has some daylight. Goes to the sideline and out of bounds at the 40-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 4.
Yeah, it looked like he was in trouble. He wanted to bring that this play side. He reversed his field and was able to turn the corner, pick up positive yards, and give himself a 2nd and manageable here.
All right, so your trivia question of the day, Husky.
Okay.
Tech has played 3 opponents over 100 games each. Which of those 3 have Tech played the most? Who has Tech played the most in the game of football?
Boom, 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 boom. Well, Carroll seems like too obvious of an answer, so I'll say Western.
It is Rocky Mountain College.
Oh.
Handoff up the middle. Nice spin move. And it's going to be a gain of 2. The part that is kind of interesting with Rocky is Rocky was, I believe, was it Montana Wesleyan is where it started, in Helena. And then they changed their name to Intermountain. And then they combined with Billy Polytechnics and moved to Billings and became Rocky Mountain College. But there was a couple years there where both those schools are still kind of considered, and they get a couple crossover. I want to say 128 or 29 games against Rocky. 3rd down and 4. They're 2 for 12 on 3rd downs today. Anderson out of the shotgun. Dropping back. Swings it out to his tailback. Can't hold on to it. Going to bring up 4th down here for the Red Hawks.
Now they're out beyond their 40-yard line. You may see them go. They're going to run on the punting team. I think that's the right thing to do here, but I thought maybe they'd take a 4th down shot here.
So 4th down here for Simpson University. Let me see if I can take a look at their schedule, tell you where they're at next. So Simpson is at Eastern Oregon next week. They have a home game against Pacific Northwest Christian College on November 2nd, and then they close at Arizona Christian. End over end punt fielded at the 23-yard line. So the Diggs offense will take over at the 23. Again, thanks for joining us on a Saturday afternoon. We have Hall of Fame weekend. Volleyball is in action tonight. Frontier Conference matchups. Carroll College in town to take on the Diggs. We'll have that for you on Digger Vision as well this evening. Myself and All-American Olivia Muir will have the call on that.
Oh, nice. We're still debating whether we were going to go and watch that or not.
First down and 10 here for the Diggs.
Former Butte Central middle blocker Avery Kelly plays for the Saints.
Indeed.
Our good old buddy, Aves.
First and 10, we have a new quarterback in. I think this might be Wilson's first snap. First down and 10. Play action. Quarterback is going to keep it. And cutting back to the far side is Jarrett Wilson. Wilson out to the 30-yard line. So Jarrett Wilson, kind of what he was known for at Polson right there. And he'll scramble for a pickup of 5. The redshirt freshman out of Polson. His numbers are beyond gaudy. Like if you've never looked at his numbers, go look him up at Polson High School. They're just atrocious. He threw for like 10 billion yards, ran for another couple 100,000.
If I could picture the one thing he would do in his first snap here on Bob Greenfield, he just did.
Is that perfect or what? 15 minutes left in this football game. Montana Tech leads 76-0 here on Digger Vision. We're back at the start of the fourth quarter after this.
Hi, I'm Dr. Brian Mark, orthopedic surgeon, specializing in sports medicine here in Butte, Montana. As an athlete, I think it's important to see a sports medicine specialist, as we have a different skill set than your general orthopedist in terms of restoring anatomy and restoring function in an athlete. One of the most kind of rewarding things being here in Butte is being the team doctor for Montana Tech, Western, as well as the local high schools and middle schools here in town. It's very rewarding working with the young athletes.
Trident 5550, the Case IH Combination Application System Solution. A couple of key points for model year 2024 are going to be the addition of a 135-foot spray boom for that enhanced productivity, and then Aim Command Flex 2, the ultimate in advanced spray technology, individual on-off nozzle control, a host of other features, making the most of your product application. To learn more, visit your Case IH distributor or caseih.com.
Back here once again to the campus of Montana Tech as we get the fourth quarter underway, and the Diggs will keep it on the ground here. As getting up off the bottom of the pile is going to be Christian Vetter, the junior out of Butte High School. He'll move the chains. First and 10 here for the Diggs. Once again, Jarrett Wilson getting his first snaps at quarterback. And you'd have to think here, Casagrande, it's their job next year, unless something changes as far as recruitment or anything like that. But certainly great to see Jarrett out here getting snaps for Montana Tech. Handoff once again going right side. Good footwork and downfield. And that's going to be a pickup of 11.
Really good effort there on defense that time. Jeremiah Prince, he gets a hold of Renner's foot, or he's gone, I think.
First and 10 here for the Diggs. Renner, 9 carries, 84 yards. Christian Vetter, 5 carries, 73 yards.
Renner probably get his first. I mean, if things go according to plan here, he might get his first 100-yard game.
That's it. First down and 10, Montana Tech. Tight formation. Handoff is going to go to the tailback again. Switch hands, a lot of daylight out in front. 35-30, cut back. Christian Vetter inside the 20, holds his balance. Vetter is in for the touchdown. Actually, it's not Vetter with the carry. Is going to be Ho. Ikea Ho, the young man out of Columbia, Idaho, gets his carry, gets it to the house.
First carry.
How about that? And that same with Christian Vetter. Remember, Christian Vetter's was the first carry. And so this is a young man. For our Digger faithful that are with us, this is a guy that there is a whole lot of excitement about. As this young man, we just showed it there.
I'm not shocked.
What a run by Ho.
What a great piece of running. I mean, one thing in the open field, but he is dead to rights there, and 3 defenders get a shot at him. He absorbs the contact, stays on his feet, and gets in the end zone.
So Ho with his first carry takes it to the house. Montana Tech goes up 83-0. Let's take a look at this here. Good angle from the backside.
Out on the field.
As Ho bounces left. Look at the daylight. So here we go. We'll get a couple hits on him. He cuts into the field. Thump. Keeps the balance. And still able to maintain and take it to the house. What a run by that young man. Congratulations, your first collegiate carry. And you take it in for the score. So,
wow, that
one
was a
carry,
nice piece of running.
52 yards and a score. Montana Tech leading 83-0, fourth quarter action. The Digs have run 46 offensive plays for 561 yards. And again, you have to look at it in this perspective. I mean, we have seen 3 different quarterbacks. We've seen 4 different running backs. You know, I think a lot of people are going to point the finger and talk about running it up, but like I say, you're getting a whole lot of people playing time.
And they won't get that on the other sideline. They realize they got their 2s and 3s and 4s in there, and that coach will be the first to tell you, run your stuff and let these guys run. Outside of the trickery or the gimmick stuff, run your base stuff, throwing and passing. That other staff will not get one bit upset. Now, the onside kick, you got a fight on your hands.
You'd call for it, too. I could see it.
Oh, did you ever remember the story of Humboldt State when we were beating them bad here?
Uh-huh.
And we told, I think it was Eric Finley, to squib kick it, and he just barely nicked the ball on accident. And the thing rolled 10 yards. Well, you can't tell hungry dogs not to go jump on that ball. And Green had to sprint across the field at the end of the game and explain that wasn't an onside kick attempt. It was just a foul up of the onside kick. That was, and he was telling, the Humboldt coach, whoever it was, called him everything in the book. He was so mad. But, so that stuff can happen.
So the kicking unit is in here for the Digs. They lead 83-0. And this one will sail out. Does it get inside the pylon?
Yes.
So it must have. Okay. So right now, Simpson University has run 42 plays for 13 positive yards. And their offense will come out and get rolling here. 561 yards of offense for Montana Tech. They have 6 different guys with over 40 yards rushing. .350 yards on the ground, 211 through the air for Montana Tech. And Anderson at quarterback out of the shotgun. Caleb Anderson, hand off to the tailback, bouncing right, and just right when he makes that first cut, there's just no daylight. There's nothing for him.
Yeah, that's Arthur just going through his reads, doing a nice job. Gets down the line of scrimmage, gets through seams, beats blocks, gets the tackle for loss.
And that is
same bunch in the secondary here.
Yeah. Loss of 4 on the carry. 2nd and 14 here.
Looks like we got JoJo Wallace up there at right corner with Vasquez at safety, Peterson at safety, and Galbraith down here at left corner.
Anderson awaiting the snap. 1 back, 3 receivers. Man in motion will get the carry. Turns it upfield. Across the 25 out to the 28-yard line.
So good for these families, because you see a lot of the families of the 2s and 3s that don't necessarily ever get in the game, right?
Yeah.
And they make this trip and they're fully bought in. But for them to come and see their boys get quality minutes during the regular season football game is just this is the sell, right? This is you're starting to see, hey. Because you start to question, right?
Yep.
Then you get to see it. Hey, my kid's out there making plays. I'm once again fully bought in.
3rd and 6 here. Anderson Montana Tech, 5 guys on the defensive front. They'll rush 5. Anderson swings it out to his man. He's wide open out on the edge across the 40 and out of bounds.
That's a good call, and that's probably something they saw on tape. We saw Montana Tech, and they've brought a lot of dog pressure here today, both out of Kovic and Whitcomb. And we saw him do that and get scorched against Western. Western time that Humphreys out of the backfield on the swing route or the wheel route, whatever you want to call it. And they stung Montana Tech in a blitz last weekend for a huge touchdown.
And that one goes to Kindle. They move the chains. 1st and 10 here for Simpson University. 11:28 left to play here in this 4th quarter. Anderson, 3 receivers, 1 back at home. 4 defenders in the front. And the fly motion handoff, trying to turn it upfield, just nothing there. As once again, Arthur is there to make the stop.
Kovic's a good player. He makes it. You know, you talk about you don't have to make the tackle to make the play, but he got upfield, got that thing contained, squeezed the edge, and turned that back up. But he's been making plays in and out of this defense all year. A really nice player, and I think I remember him playing during the COVID years. I think he was one of those Helena High or Helena Capital kids that had really good games. Remember, because there was no one else at the games besides us and the parents sneaking through the or looking through the bushes.
Looking through the bush. 2nd down and 10. Gosh, I tried to forget that. 1 back at home, 4 receivers. Anderson hands it off to his tailback. He gets away from 1 defender across the 45 out to the 47. Good bit of running once again that time for Kindle.
Yeah, you can't fault the effort out of Kindle today. I mean, he has gone nonstop, right?
Very
he's
much
had a ton of carries. He's taken a lot of big hits, and he's still fighting through tackles and fighting for every inch.
15 carries, 27 positive yards for him today. That is play number 46 for Simpson right now. They have 36 offensive yards. 3rd down and 5 for Simpson. Ball at their 48-yard line. 1 receiver on each side. Anderson. Play clock down to 3. Man in motion. Comes back the other way. Play clock hit 0. Airs it up. Intercepted. Picked off. This is going to go in. Picked off. Taking it to the house. Montana Tech will get the defensive score. As right in front of it, and taking that one to the house, Tyler Kovic.
Right on cue.
How about that?
Right on cue. You know, when I was thinking in that 3rd and 5, I was thinking, boy, you get to the point where you're almost rooting for them to score, right? The Redhawks to score. And I was thinking, you know, this whole set of bleachers, the whole stadium would erupt if they did, and they throw an interception for a touchdown.
Take a look at this here as we take a look at our Case Construction instant replay. Kovic just gets a gift. He overthrew. That looked like a route mistake as the tight end turned in instead out. And that left Kovic there to take it to the house. Point after is up and good. Montana Tech leads 90-0. 9:26 left to play here in this football game. A defensive touchdown, a special teams touchdown.
Yeah, we've seen them score about every way possible here today.
That's the truth. 9:26 remaining. Montana Tech at home next week as Rocky Mountain College in town. And actually, next week will be pretty special, and actually one very special to you. We'll have Intermountain Healthcare here with the mammo bus, or the mammography bus will be down.
Gotcha.
It'll be our cancer game next Saturday. Certainly something to look forward to.
Looks like Mom is going to have to get out of the house and come to the game with me, huh?
She can tailgate with my bride.
Right.
Montana Tech, 561 yards of offense. And ready to kick it off here. 9:26 left to play. The winds have shifted quite a bit here throughout the day, kind of coming directly out of the west right now. And the kick is away. Low line drive. Wind is going to push it, and it's going to go out of bounds.
Flirted with it the last kickoff.
Yep. So that one gets shoved out of bounds. So they'll get it out to the 35-yard line.
Kick
And
out of
Simpson's
bounds.
offense
Number 39, ball placed at 35, first down.
will come back out here. Anderson is 5 of 17 through the air. He has thrown for 21 yards. He's been sacked twice, picked off once. On the ground, Kindle has 16 carries for 32 positive yards.
Good old former fullback Josh Vincent lobbying for a two-back set and a fullback trap.
What, a fullback touchdown wasn't enough for Vinny? Come on, Vinny. 1st and 10. And Anderson out of the shotgun. Anderson one back, 2 receivers on each side. Handoff going to go to the tailback, bouncing right, trying to find some running room. And again, just corralled before he can turn it north. That's a heck of a play. As making the play defensively is Cooper Craig. Freshman, a true freshman out of Post Falls, Idaho.
Yeah, again, I mean, it's, guys are going to be out there. They're playing for spots, right? They're going to play hard. It doesn't matter how deep you go on that roster. They are going to play hard and try and make plays.
2nd down and 9. Clock running here.
And another trap you can get into, and coaches say it all the time. You play at 100 miles an hour or 100%, you start to lay off at all or anything like that. That's when injuries happen.
Yeah.
So
one back, 2 receivers wide left for Anderson. Montana Tech showing pressure. Here it comes. Handoff to the tailback. Nope, quarterback kept it. Excuse me. Anderson goes out of bounds after a gain of 1, close to 2. And that will bring up a 3rd down here for Simpson University. The NAIA record for points in a game is 106.
pretty dubious record.
Yeah. 3rd down and 9. Certainly not something they're shooting for.
There's probably a record number of teams that could have got it.
Yep. That's the truth right there. 1 back, 3 receivers, tight end left. Tech, 4-man pressure, handoff to the tailback again. And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Boy, Montana Tech really getting to the football, especially, like I say, the youth out there. Cooper Craig once again at the bottom of the pile, the true freshman.
Caleb Novak, a D-front guy getting some snaps.
Those snaps are so important for, like, especially the true freshmen, the redshirt freshmen, the guys putting in their time, you know, getting snaps away from against your own teammates.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's such a big deal to come in here and not be on scout squad and get murdered every night.
There you go.
4th and 9, the punting unit is in. Good snap this time, and the kick is away. Tight spiral, a lot of air under it. And a fair catch called for at the 27-yard line by Torgey. 6:58 left to play.
Tough catch this time of day. Torgey reeling it in. He's looking right up into the sun as that ball comes out of the sky. We'll see what we get here for quarterback. It looks like my guy, Jake Casagrande, is going to get the nod here.
Okay. So Casagrande will be in, our 4th quarterback of the day. And again, this is another great one to see them get to. You know, we talked about Wilson. You get Casagrande in the mix. Those two are going to have a battle, you know, through spring and fall to see who gets the starting job next year.
You know, I'm laughing. And I mean, this is a terrible way to think, but I can just see him going through the handshake line afterwards, and maybe a couple of coaches or players going, "Hey, you were 4 deep on that quarterback. You can just come play with us." For a little recruiting process going on.
1st and 10, handoff to the tailback. And out and racing across the 35 out to the 40-yard line. That's going to be a 1st down carry, a gain of 12.
And that's Dylan Graham. That's a Helena Capital product.
There we go. Good to see
player.
Graham in there.
I still remember Dylan Graham during those COVID years. I think that, remember that he was part of that sophomore class that we were raving about covering those games.
Yeah, so good.
And do you remember us talking, saying, wait till you see this team in 2 years? In 2 years, they win the state championship, I believe.
Yeah. Well, and this is another one. We were talking about how deep that running back room is. I mean, Travis Dean is just sitting here just going, mwah. I mean, look at that. I mean, you're looking at a guy like Graham 5 deep now at running back. There is an incredible amount of talent out there in that running back room for Montana Tech. 1st down and 10. Up to the line of scrimmage, Casagrande.
This kid is cool. Casagrande is a cool customer.
Handoff will go up the middle. Graham gets tagged once. Ball comes out, but he was down. They'll say he was down. So I was able to call the Bozeman-Helena Capital game in Helena that was like 73 below the state title game that Casa Grande played in and lost to Helena Capital. But I'll tell you, Casa Grande played awfully well. Yeah. I mean, just a getter, man. He's one of those guys you want out in front of you.
I ain't saying he's flatlined, but I tell you what, he comes off as flatlined. He is a cool customer. He doesn't get too excited over much. He just I just can't get over his pocket presence in high school. It was something to watch. I really enjoyed that.
2nd down and 3. As up to the line of scrimmage come the Digs. One receiver wide right. Casa Grande out of the shotgun. See if they give him a green light to throw here. Handoff to his tailback. Graham bouncing. Moves the chains down inside the 45. So clock continuing to run here. As checking in, Carson Anderson, a receiver out of Helena High School. Whole lot of new bodies in here for Montana Tech. Great for them to get their minutes. And it'd have to be, it would have to reinvigorate a guy. You know, like if you're a freshman or a redshirt freshman in these scenarios, if you've been on the meet squad, you've been on the practice squad, the idea of getting your time here has to, the idea of push you forward and go, all right, now we know where we're at.
And that's why it looks like they're playing like they're down 4, right?
Yeah.
Because these guys are hungry.
First
Live
down.
action, family in town.
1st and 10 from the 45-yard line of Simpson. Casa Grande, the redshirt freshman out of Bozeman. Handoff to Graham. Graham actually right side with the carry. Downfield with it is DeLeon, and DeLeon was going to break it in for the score. Michael DeLeon, a redshirt sophomore out of Billings. He transferred from Rocky. And DeLeon is going to get in for the score as he'll take that one 45 yards, and the Digs go up 96-0.
Yeah, and I mean, it's you may or may not hear apologies after the game, but what do you do?
Yeah.
I mean, you're deep into this roster, and these guys want to make plays.
He is the 11th person to carry the ball for Montana Tech today.
Yeah.
There are 11 guys in the rushing column.
I mean, the only thing you can say is maybe they should have looked at youth maybe a little sooner. But we kind of defended that and talked about it. And would it have made that big a difference or any difference at all? So.
Yep. 3:01 left to play here in the football game. Montana Tech has run 50 offensive plays for 627 yards. 416 of their yards have come on the ground.
I'm trying to see on the Tech sideline, just left to right, a number in a full uniform that hasn't been in the game in quality minutes, and I can't see one. And if you can see one, more power to you. But I've seen every number that's holding a helmet in full pads down there playing multiple series here today.
So Tech will kick it off here to Simpson.
And Simpson doesn't have a ton of players that they traveled with. I was trying to get a head count over there. They can't have 40 guys on that sideline, can they?
Boy, it certainly doesn't look that way, does it? Again, Montana Tech, 11 guys with carries in this football game. They have run for 416 yards, and that's evident of, the clock trying to tick it away. And
we used to travel with 48 on the long trips, and then we'd give a bonus handful, 52 or 53 on the short trips. And when I say short, Dylan Carroll, that was it.
Yep.
But it's, I don't know. Maybe it's just because, Tech's got so many guys on the sideline. It looks like a lot smaller number over there, but I was trying to count. There can't be 40 people over there.
And overhand kick will go into the end zone and out. Bear with me for a moment. Okay, then. The cheap seats were getting loud. 2:59 left to play here in the football game. Once again, Montana Tech is at home next week against Rocky Mountain College. And if memory serves correct, Simpson will be at Eastern next Saturday. First down and 10 here for Simpson. They have run 51 offensive plays, 38 yards.
Yeah, you're as deep here as you can be defensively and offensively.
Yeah. Anderson out of the shotgun. Play action. Anderson's going to keep it himself, and he is going to go down 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage as Montana Tech gets to him.
Yeah, and let's give credit where credit's due here. These guys are ready to play.
Yeah,
you know, and
exactly.
a lot of them haven't seen any or some action yet today or yet this year. But these guys are coming in ready to play. They're executing. We're not seeing any penalties. We're not seeing any holds, any procedural type stuff. No offsides, no defensive pass interference, nothing. We're just seeing executed blocks, tackles, runs, catches, and throws.
Yeah. 2nd and 16 officially. As up to the line of scrimmage, one back, Anderson out of the shotgun. The redshirt freshman quarterback, 3 receivers. Awaiting the snap. Handoff goes to his tailback. Bounces right. He gets hammered at the 21-yard line. He'll pick up 3 positive yards. But again, Kindle has run the ball well.
We're to the 2-minute timeout.
Yep, 2-minute timeout.
2-minute timeout, a.k.a. 2-minute warning.
So the 2-minute timeout as Montana Tech up big here over Simpson University. So let's see what we have here. What else? What are our scores up there, Haskey? I haven't seen them here in a few.
Looks like Western got Rocky 42-17.
Okay.
Of course, the Christian games tonight with
College of Idaho beating Northern. Okay.
Carroll still up against Southern Oregon 24-13.
Eastern Oregon.
Eastern Oregon, excuse me.
There you go. So Western up over Rocky. Okay. Well, all right then.
You know, the whole day I had Southern stuck in my head at Carroll.
Okay.
And I was thinking that would be a huge win for Carroll, but that's probably an expected victory this year, getting Eastern Oregon at home.
Yeah. 3rd down and 14 here for the Red Hawks. Frontier Conference football on a Saturday. As we get the whistle and the go-ahead. Anderson out of the shotgun. Brings man in motion. And they'll give it to him on the fly sweep, turning it upfield. And just nothing there again. Boy, Montana Tech has just shut that down all day long. Big time play by that young secondary. Was it Galbraith out there breaking through again?
Well, no, it would look like a number 30. Maybe it's 38. Could be Travis Hadley out here making the play. Yes, 38.
Okay. Billings Central standout. So 4th and long, and the punting unit is in. And you'd have to assume Tech will take it and get in the victory formation, run the clock, and put this one to bed. Short kick off the side of the foot, bounces at the 47-yard line, and goes out of bounds at the Montana Tech 48-yard line. So 1 minute exactly remaining here in the football game.
Yeah, Hadley getting some helmet pats as he hits the sideline after making a big play out there in the flat. Good tackle. I mean, these guys, they become fans of each other, and it's good to see just, I mean, literally everybody get quality minutes here today.
So the offense out. Jake Casagranda
gets the save.
Red shirt freshman will come out and take the snap in the victory formation. Something he was awfully used to at Bozeman. Take a knee once. Looks like he'll have to do it. Oh, no. Sorry, I thought I saw the clock was earlier. So one more, and this one will be put to bed. So Simpson University playing 6 Frontier Conference schools this year. They have Eastern Oregon next week. And take a knee, and that's going to do it. So Montana Tech, this one will go to bed. The Digs will get the win as they go to 5-3 overall. And number 15 in the country. So we'll see what happens as we continue on. The Digs are at home next week. Rocky Mountain College, the opponent.
That's good stuff. Number 31, Marquise Thomas Gray, running out of his way to go slap the hand and pat on the back of our on-field umpire here today. That's good stuff.
Head coaches chatting at the center of the field. Real impressive there as well as the Red Hawk coach came out, shook the hands of the officials. And coaches chatting as we speak. And you know, from our side, like we said, we're obviously partial beyond belief, but I mean, there isn't anything else you could do.
No.
I mean, yeah, it's just the way it is. I mean, you know, Tech jumped out big early.
They did it right.
And never looked back.
You know, they got the 2s, 3s, 4s, sometimes 5 and 6, right, at running back. You know, they got them all in the game, and that coach is going to say, "God, you got that young guys, get in there and run your stuff and do what you do." They won't have a problem with it. They're only going to get better if you give them your best effort anyway.
Yep, that is the case. And joining the Frontier Conference, that is the goal. You're going to have to get better, and you're going to have to do a lot of things to compete in this conference. As there are some awfully good football teams in this Frontier Conference. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll give you the numbers and wrap this bad boy up, ladies and gentlemen. Digger football here on Digger Vision. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back and give you the numbers after this.
Now's the time to get into Butte Auto and custom build your own ride just the way you want it. Choose from 9 brands and compare them all at one location. Don't wait. Take advantage of our VIP appointment or stay where you are and shop easily from ButteAuto.com. At Butte Auto, we believe in exceptional service and an easy buying process. Easy buying process. Contact one of our 4 dealerships and custom build your next ride at Butte Auto today.
Hey, we're back here once again as Montana Tech with the win over Simpson University. And let's wrap this thing up here real quickly as let's take a look at the final numbers. We'll start things off for Simpson. The Red Hawks will end up with 54 offensive plays for a total of 30 positive yards here on the day. So 54 plays, 30 yards for the Red Hawks. Anderson was 5 of 17 through the air for 21 yards. He had 1 interception and was sacked twice on the day. Let's see here, rushing the ball, Kindle, 19 carries, 35 yards for Kindle. Ramirez, 4 carries for 6 positive yards. Receiving-wise, Kindle was the man there as well. 1 catch, 14 yards for Kindle. And that was the big one. Thomas had 1 catch for 6 yards, and Maya had 1 catch for 4. Again, the Red Hawks 54 offensive plays, 30 yards of total offense today.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of players of the game, and I wouldn't ignore giving it to Kindle either. He had tough sledding today, ended up with positive yards, but I tell you what, he had guys all over him all day, and he did make some pretty dynamic runs, you know, making something out of nothing, you know, a handful of times. But, yeah, good opportunity for Tech to get a lot of young guys, some quality action, and you know, hopefully you come out of this as healthy as possible and start moving into your home stretch.
On the other side, Montana Tech, 51 offensive plays, 626 yards of total offense. Blake Thielen was 7 of 9 for 174. He threw 5 touchdowns right out of the gate. Cade Wyatt was 2 of 6 for 37 yards. He threw 1 touchdown as well. And again, pretty much everybody ran the ball. Renner was the leading rusher today, 10 carries, 95 yards. Christian Vetter, 5 carries for 73. Lander Smith, 7 carries for 59. Ikea Ho had 1 carry for 52 yards and a score on his first collegiate carry. Congratulations to him. De Leon had 1 carry for 45 and a score. Wyatt had 5 carries for 41. Graham had 3 for 21. Torgerson had 1 for 18. Thielen, Snyder, and Casagrande all were given credit for one run as well. So 11 different Ordigers packed the rock in this ball game. Receiving, Torgerson 3 catches for 113. Wyatt Alexander had 3 for 57. Michelati 1 catch for 23 on the day. So again, the Digs 51 offensive plays, 626 yards of total offense.
Yeah, I mean, there's you summarized it right there. just the stat line, but yeah. Best of luck to Simpson. Moving forward, it's just you just look for constant improvement if you can get it. And I look forward to them coming into the conference. They get a pretty good idea of what they need to do and be, right?
That's the deal. That's the deal. Build and grow. That's where it's at. They will have Eastern Oregon next weekend. I believe that one was at home in California. And Montana Tech, of course, will be hosting Rocky Mountain College, as we'll have a big day with Intermountain Health and St. James Healthcare. And the mammography bus will be here, and going to be another great day here in the mining city. For Ron Haskett, I'm Paul Panisco. The Digs roll through Simpson University here on Digger Vision. Thanks for joining us on a Saturday, and until next time, take care.